Good evening and welcome to the BYB podcast, where the nights are cold and the days are cold. In the morning, it's cold. At 5 o'clock p.m., it's cold. Tonight's special guest is Zero Dark Tony, which is absolute cold. And now you will hear from Derek, and his legs are cold.
That's fucked up.
Welcome to the BYB podcast. That's for the backyard boys. And tonight, like Brad said, my legs don't work, but you know who does work? Zero Dark Tony. And of course, you can find him on his namesake channel, and also the Ripcast with Corn Dip. Dude, check this motherfucker out on the YouTube streaming services. Yeah, anything I missed out on there, Mr. Zero Dark Nick Grr.
How are you this evening? Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, buddy. Anything else you want the people out there in the YouTube verse to know about you?
Well, you know, I just am. I'm in your hands tonight. You know, come check out my channel. It's got a lot of really crazy, different stuff. We got a lot of different content, whether it's dealing with cults or talking about anything from Epstein to crazy trafficking to Mafia Mondays. We got a lot of different stuff over there. That's all dark, all day.
The black.
Is it cold? Is it cold?
It's ice cold, baby.
What the fuck is going on with that?
Ice.
That's the main thing Mr. A wants to know. Is it cold?
Can I be honest with you?
It's ice cold.
No.
I'm bad
mind
fucking
being
news.
People get weird about being in the front screen. Like, oh my god, above the big screen. I've heard that before happen here. People don't like being in the, you know, when everybody's on. I don't mind. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you do a show by yourself, so you should be
right?
used to being full on screen by yourself. Half the
Alone.
people.
It's
Yeah,
what's
they don't
called
like
a cold open.
I love it. I love it.
But the more they don't like it, the more I want to. The more I want to do it to them, make them uncomfortable, squirm
I
in their
appreciate you
seats
guys having
like
me on,
Lemmy
by the
does
way.
when she sees me. Happens daily.
Quit trying to fuck my old lady, Derek.
Where the hell is this prick?
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, welcome, buddy. Yeah, full disclosure, I was on earlier with Zero Dark Tony on his channel. We were doing the wrap over there, man. Yeah, good shit. How's everybody else this evening?
Oh, great. We were playing on the cut of the jib.
Here, let me ask that again. Here, let me. I'll mute Bobby P, and then, hey, everybody, how's your days? How's your day so far? How's everybody doing?
Thanks, Derek.
Pretty good.
All right. Can I be honest with you? I am bad.
No. Why are you bad at?
Bad fucking news. I'm not your
bad news.
friend. I'm not gonna help you. I'm gonna break you. Any questions? That is.
Oh, Zero Dark 30. I know the
Yes.
quote. Yes. Yes. One of my
Derek.
favorite movies of all time, dude.
Derek,
That's a good
That's
classic.
a good one.
Legendary.
Derek. Got it.
Exactly
good.
one of the
Ooh.
reasons we have the moniker over here.
I figured. That is a sick,
yeah.
twisted, fucking great film.
I'm making a
Stevie
sequel
Lou.
to it. It's called Zero Dark 730. It's not supper time.
What's that?
They killed my monkeys.
He said no.
The
So
blacks.
I appreciate you guys having me on
The
tonight.
blacks.
It's good to be on the panel here with everybody. Fantastic. I like it. And I'm used to rolling, flying my ship alone. This is unique.
Yeah, you can just sit back and just get this nice backyard boys BJ. Just get those arms back, unzip.
Land your ship
And
right in
let
our
me
backyard.
go on.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm here
no.
for. That's literally the sole reason I'm here.
No, not this time. This time it was Mr. A. We agreed upon that earlier today.
Okay.
Mr. A, it is your turn to do the glory holes duties again.
At the jizz
Nice.
mop again? Squeegee?
Well, a bucket and a mop.
floor?
Just like
Mr. A Night's Bobby P's favorite night.
wet ass butthole.
Did you know that
Come
direct
down in my neck of the woods?
or Ray DeVito's or no Gino's brother's pink towel? I always get confused between the pink towels.
Owl.
Did you guys know that Catherine Bigelow, director of Zero Dark 30, also directed Point Break?
Is she
Yeah.
his sister?
American classic.
No idea. I had no idea.
What was that joke again, Mr. A? Your shit popped out. Is she
I was
whose sister?
asking if that woman that you said if that was Deuce's sister. Yeah.
Goose Bigelow. Deuce Bigelow. Yeah.
Deuce
There you go.
Bigelow. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Doesn't sound like a name, though. Deuce.
Well, Mr. A,
Oh,
if
your
you
mic
were
sucks, you
a
silly goose.
prostitute, I would think that that's the class of chicks that you would be getting hit up on, for sure.
Oh.
Like a really tall, weird-looking one, a really fat one, like an awkward Tourette syndrome one. Like you would have like all these like weird fucking people like paying to fuck you.
Sounds like a fun orgy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're not busy at the rest area, of course, that's the kind of stuff you can imagine Mr. A doing on his free time.
Is there a
that's how I picture it,
non-awkward?
at least?
Is there a non-awkward Tourette's? Is there?
Yeah, there's a form of Tourette's where you only quote L. Ron Hubbard.
That's right.
You got to have the teeth for it.
It's called polite Tourette's, where they just go, thank you, please.
Yeah, the
Fucking,
old,
fucking Dianetics. Fucking Dianetics. Dianetics.
the old cult world. I know it only too well.
Oh yeah,
From
man. So
QAnon.
yeah, you do 2 shows over there on your channel. You got the Ripcast and you got the conspiracy theories or anything else that you're diving into. I noticed a lot of your content lately has pretty much been Scientology, yeah?
Well, it's actually the ex-Scientology group who have kind of, in my opinion, sort of formed their own cult. They have their own group. They have, they're the type of doxers that, they're doxers, stalkers, comments, all the things, and then when you clap back, they just lose their minds, which is hilarious.
Well,
and great
don't
for
like
content.
in history, haven't a lot of like religions been offshoots of other religions, like people reforming or protesting against that, religion that they were all part of? And what do they fucking go ahead and do? Start their own fucking cockamamie bullshit.
Right.
Wild how that still
group,
happens
for sure.
today in 2023 when we have things like the internet and high-speed internet where you can like acknowledge facts and things and science much more readily.
Another thing about the people that and Dana and I have sort of been on this sort of research dive because they just started fucking with us a little bit, and we're just not really in that business of having people try and shit on us and not turn it into great content. So what has happened is, in this sort of expose mode of looking at each one of their channels and going, hey, this one is selling this, but we found a lot of scammy type stuff going on with this whole entire SPTV group, who are ex-Scientologists. So they have decided to take the route of what Scientology does and using those techniques to try and shut me up and get my shit canceled and deleted and my channel's terminated. They're real cunts.
Aaron himself?
They're all about that bread.
Yes. Aaron Smith Levin?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah. Him.
You have proof?
Yeah, not Aaron
it's
Amill,
on his
everybody.
videos. It's on his videos. I mean, from him, all the way from him saying to unsubscribe to me to, these really gaslighty things about OSA and dog whistle type things where even when they don't actually say my name, which they have a couple times, and it's not just Aaron, it's Nora.
I've seen it. I've seen the Nora clip where she's done that. You did send that over
Nora,
to me.
and then some other.
Freaky.
So, I mean, I'm going to clap back at it, and they want to keep turning it up, and I, I just.
What is it exactly they're doing that's pissing you off?
It's not even that they're pissing me off. They're just making more. Like I could take it or leave it, but
no, you're taking it. You're not leaving it. You're taking it.
No,
obviously.
But I'm saying that I could leave it. This is not something that is in my wheelhouse, but it provides a couple hours of really honestly therapy, because I really find them to be super scammy. They have They have degraded.
I've been following this guy since before he had like 100,000 subscribers.
Sure. So
might be all they.
Did you say that they're smarmy?
Yeah.
Who cares about smarmy? I'm talking about scammy.
That's just the half of it. So, for example, one video was of an interview where this girl had a go buy me a coffee was one of them.
Nice.
And on their buy me a coffee, they live in Hollywood and they have this need for a fence and they asked for $500, some small amount for this fence. When in Hollywood, you need permits, they just didn't price these things out. Same with a couple of the other SPTV creators. We were asking, like, why are these prices? Why is this on GoFundMe? Why are you getting money for cameras when we saw an alert on her? She was doing an interview and we saw an alert come up about cameras, but she's asking for money for cameras that was still live. So, it's little. The fence would cost $6,000-$7,000. Another thing was that she said, this one girl, Vanessa, said that she was a master grower with 48 lights.
I'm a master grower, not a shower.
When I put that in a video, she went and took down her LinkedIn or blocked or made it private, but she changed her LinkedIn so nobody could see it. Because when you look at a lot of these people, and even on their LinkedIn, Nora sitting there making these videos about me, I found that she went from working on a production with Leia Remini to Starbucks. Now that's shitty. We all have stuff that happens in life. Sometimes we got to pick up our bootstraps and go to work. I have no problem with that. I've had to do it myself. Slept on many a couch.
You made for it. I saw you did on your YouTube.
Yeah. So I'm not opposed to somebody working, but when somebody acts like that, humble yourself a little bit, chill. People are going to make fun of you online. People do it with me all the time. You just have to get used to it. I'm not harassing anyone. I'm not sending anyone into their chats to fuck with them or their live streams. I don't do that, but they do. So I have to do it a different way. Huh?
Sorry.
They might do that on their own behalf, but that's not your intention to make them do that.
When I went over there and
I hear that so much. I'm 36. I've seen that so much on the internet. I'm not telling my chat to go do this, but in so many ways I imply it underhandedly. I get it. I get the whole like dichotomous, so you can like maintain innocence.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Plausible. Thank you.
Yeah,
Plausible.
we're not saying donate to us, but there's a QR code right up there in the right corner of the screen, and also our link tree down below. And whatever. I'm not saying you should go give us hundreds of dollars, which you should, but those are easily accessed and given to. So go ahead and do that.
And also, we sort of
implied, of course.
We sort of called out the fact that in just a couple shows, they're getting super chats that are more than Dr. Disrespect gets. $40,000 in just a couple days. Get the fuck what? Exactly. That is extraordinary high number. And I suggested that there was allegedly some possible money laundering going on. And then the harassment to me started to escalate. So it is what it is. You call things out and you see it. and I don't particularly. Everything I do is about public stuff. You know, there's nothing that I have that's private. I fucked with them a couple times, but they fuck with me a lot harder. So for me to do the thing with any fucking cum towels or fucking, you know, talk about calling Nora's work, I would never call Nora's work. But you know what? They fucked with me, so I fucked with
Your
them.
chat would probably though. You're kind of the set standard for your chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think any of them would actually do that. Actually.
You don't think anyone would, but there's a lot of fucking retards on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I would have.
You know everybody in your chat? You know them all personally?
I would say that I would have heard it by now if somebody had called there. Believe me, if anybody had called, I would have heard it by now. Because I did that. That was like weeks ago. But you know, these are just you know, they want to go and dox me on their channels and things like that. But look, that's fine.
They gave out your address?
Not my address, but names, locations of other family, you know, things like that. So it's an intimidate. Lemmy, these are people who are in the business of trying to intimidate people, and that's what they do. These are all Keyboard members. And I'm trying to tell you that, you know, you might look at Aaron Smith Levin as this great guy and shit like that.
I don't. He's literally all I do is like surface level watch that shit just for my top side, like Scientology news.
What they do is the same. It's called fair game. They're doing the same exact thing. They dox people. They try and fuck with computers. They do all that shit. So all of they take gay ops to like the next level, you know.
Gay
so I'm
ops?
telling you,
it's my favorite time.
But do you know what I'm saying? So these are wretched people that also doxed Dana, you know, where she works. She's a nurse. That's fucked up.
Didn't you put where that one lady works? Didn't you like post the address of her actual Starbucks?
What's that?
Didn't you post the address of that woman's actual workplace of work?
Where? On your
YouTube.
Woman? Which woman?
The woman you said that she went from working in Hollywood or whatever to working at Starbucks.
I showed her LinkedIn. Absolutely. That's
you
not
you posted the address.
It's on her
place,
LinkedIn.
her location and her
it's
name.
On her LinkedIn, she doxed my name. Don't give a shit. It's publicly on
your
her LinkedIn.
Your name is public record. That's not doxing.
Her name. She's a public figure, and her name. And she put it publicly on a public LinkedIn channel.
Right.
Like, don't
just
put
like
it on
your name is public record. That's
fine.
Your name out there
what?
isn't doxing.
When you don't use it and to do it in a way that's malicious is different.
It's not doxing. You know? It's not doxing. It's a shit thing to do. It's not doxing.
That the
people have done that to me
is with a malicious intent. You know what I mean?
Putting out personal information that's not public, like your name.
What's that?
It's just not doxing. It's shit. It's just not doxing.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's not the only fucking reason it's doxing, and I don't want to repeat that again. I don't like repeating myself. That's about it.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on that. So let's move on.
Yeah, so Danny Masterson, that shit all came up on Monday, and we started talking about that stuff because the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Well, obviously, they handed down a 30-year sentence, so that started the conversation. But then Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis came out and apologized for their sending in a letter to the judge, like saying Danny's a good guy. So we started dipping into that. And then, of course, Lemmy's kind of versed on the Scientology stuff, so I had no idea that Danny Masterson was actually part of Scientology. Lemmy and our guest on Monday did. What kind of info you got on that situation?
I had. What's that?
I said he did that shit. I've never seen a white man go to jail for 30 fucking years for graping somebody. He did it.
Did they? I have a question about that. Did they have any actual physical evidence?
I didn't follow the trial.
Okay. That's what I've been quoting.
Yeah, same here. I didn't follow the trial much, but
I don't know what
I did hear. I did hear other people cover it. Like Kevin Guinness brought it up on his show, and he was saying like there wasn't much evidence from what he understood. It was mostly like so she didn't make a report at the time. Yeah, like there was no like rape kit, from my understanding, any of that stuff. I think it was mostly all hearsay witness testimony. So that is kind of weird to get like a huge sentence when you don't actually have like a rape kit
Yeah, I have
I
a
don't know.
problem
I'm
with
not.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Agreed. That's when I
Maybe a
started defending him a
probation.
little bit, and Blamey got pissed
Yeah.
at me. But I get both
We can
sides.
finish.
Like, yeah, no, it's
Well,
good to get
hey,
passionate about stuff. That's cool, man. But
Well, when I was
yeah,
there, and I spent a little time in Scientology. What's that?
did you?
Yeah, back in the 90s. I wasn't there for very long, but when I went in there, Danny Masterson was actually there. He was one of the people. I mean, I just kept getting fucked up having to do that purification thing over and over again. I feel like they really didn't sink their hooks into me. I was recruited, and it was something that, you know, you look at in hindsight. And at the time, it was the 90s. It was actually kind of weirdly trendy to go into Scientology when you were in the entertainment business, because here was this celebrity center. It was like a spa. Okay. They were all
yeah,
they
right
were
behind
doing-
me, as you folks can see, there's the Celebrity Center.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's where you come down when you're
I'm
clear.
here on location. That's the links we go to here at BYB to make sure that you're satisfied with our content.
That's the clear ramp. But you know, all these people that were there at the time when I was there, Ethan Suplee, Catherine Bell, you know, all these people were in this, what seemed to be just, like I said, a spa. They had a great restaurant. They'd bring you coffee. They made sure you had, you know, it was, you were kind of getting sort of like the rock star treatment at this place. And the people in the Sea Org who we're talking about, the Noras, the Aarons, you have to understand this. I was public. They are Sea Org. Completely different fucking universe entirely. These are, and I'm not the first person who's been public that's spoken out against them. And these are ex-Scientologists that I'm having this issue with. I really, they're still acting like it. But, you know, when you engage in this Scientology shit, they're just, you know, they all grew up 30 people in a room with bunks. It's horrible. You know, the way they grew up, the way they treated these kids is horrible. Look, Nora, I feel sorry for her. Aaron, I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for those kids that grew up that didn't have a grandmother that made them chicken soup when they were sick. You know what I mean? I feel for these people, but they are fucking dogpiling.
That took good care of them.
Exactly. Or, you know, I look, I have a very sympathetic, compassionate side to who I am, but they are making it very. Did you ever see the movie with Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro when he tries to get him across? What's the
Midnight Run?
Midnight Run. When he's holding the stick out and he goes, "You're making it very difficult for me to do the right thing here."
Yaphet Koda.
That's the way I feel. They're making it very difficult for me to do the right thing. And I'm not well-tempered. I'm not mentally well. I'm not stable. Okay. So whatever. There it is.
Yeah, do the right thing, like Spike Lee, right?
I'm trying. And I keep offering a de-escalation. They started, shut back up. Leave it alone. You know, you're just giving me more content every time you do something stupid.
So when you say Danny, you like hung out with Danny Masterson, like what do they have, like meetings where you all meet up, and then what does the Scientology look like when you go in there?
Well, there was the only time that it seemed to me that I saw a lot of those people was during the purification process, because this was like 5 hours a day, man. You would come in. This was 5 hours of your day. Getting in that sauna, you go in, then you come out. You go in, then you come out. You're doing this all day. Then you eat, then you go back into the sauna. You know, so this is an all-day thing. And then people are sort of coming in at different times. You would see all different kinds of people. There were 2 different purifications, though. So you would see different people in different ones. It's
people are coming and
weird
going all
and
the time.
very strange. Everybody's got, like, you know, really just this. They did this thing in the morning. I remember it was called, like, or in the afternoon. I don't remember when, but it was called muster. So they all had to go to muster. That was the only meeting that happened. And it was like the Sea Org guys. It wasn't the public. Like, we were public. It was just different.
It's funny. I have to muster the strength to go live on this show with Bobby P every time.
You got to muster
Yeah,
that
don't
up.
we all?
Yeah.
What did I do?
But there's a lot of nuance to what happens here. And, you know, when you only watch only parts of what happened on the on some of their channels, they put up a really nice front and they don't acknowledge any of it other than on Twitter. So today, you know, on Twitter, some of these people are like, oh, we reported him. They reported that I was doing revenge corn, you know, that I had revenge corn, and it wasn't even, you know, like, it's just ridiculous shit. Like, report me to the DOJ because of what I'm saying. They can't take being made fun of. That's all. That's the bottom fucking line. It's the bottom line.
Yo, I'm the DOJ.
No, it's DOC.
And we've just seen a bunch of scammy shit in the meantime. And I've done like 75 fucking videos about these different channels that have all different, like, you know, they say they're taking money for a charity, but then they have their personal PayPals on there. That's what Stuttering John was doing. That's bullshit.
That's weird.
Okay, that's fucked up. And after I mentioned it, they stopped. One of them stopped doing it, but the other ones still have it. So they are taking money for the Aftermath Foundation that Leia Remini is promoting, that is supposed to be helping people like this kid Ian, who has to go on GoFundMe, who does not like me. That doesn't matter to me. This kid needs some fucking help.
Ian Hawke?
Huh?
Oh.
No. Different Scientology kid. They should be giving him and paying for his aftercare. Look at the money that they're making on these fucking super chats. Why aren't they paying for these fucking people, you know, and their aftercare? So this kid doesn't turn into an internet spurg like he is. Hey, you know, that's all I'm saying. Like, help.
Are you asking why they're not giving the money that they're making to a charity?
The money is being made for the charity. A lot of those things are
super chats and everything.
A lot of their broadcasts are for specifically said that they are going to Aftermath. Some of them have the tag on them, right? That it is an official charity one. Some of them do not. So where is all this money going if this kid can't get like a counselor? You know, fuck me.
How old is he?
He's in his 20s. He
then he should be doing things for himself at this point, right?
Well, he just got out of Scientology. And if you are a charity that says you're helping Scientologists get out of Scientology, one of those things is mental health aftercare. They're not paying for people who they rescue. You know, like you go rescue a fucking dog. You got to go get us some fucking shots. You know what I'm saying?
And they're you're brainwashed.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They need specialists to help them transition into the real world.
They do the same thing with the Orthodox Jewish Hasidic cults too. And it's absolutely something that's...
Well, I have a big problem with that. Even though that he has a problem with me, the kid needs help, and it's the principle. It's not the fucking back and forth, you know, whatever. You know, there's back and forth.
Religion is religion, but that is the most manipulative religion that I know of.
And then tell a kid to watch the TV. That's how I figure life out.
What's that?
Curious as
watch
to why
TV. That's how you figure out.
Celebrities are so into it.
Well, you know, it's become it's really it's lost a lot of its popularity since the early 90s. I believe, in my opinion, from what I've seen, and I stepped away from it, never spoke with a Scientologist for 20 fucking years, and that's the way to do it. You just step away and never look back. That's really what the experts say to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when I do look back, I see that the peak time seemed to be in like the 90s, basically. The 90s seem to be, you know.
Yeah. Fucking sweet.
Oh, it's probably coming from the headphones.
It was fucking Crystal Pepsi.
Everybody had AIDS.
95.
Am I still chibbity chibbin? Do you
No,
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you good.
80% of the people on the show.
Your video's a little choppy, but your audio's coming through perfect.
Yeah, you know, I would imagine let me see my
3 out of 4 people on this podcast have shit audio, so please don't get any sort of
right. Sorry for the choppy video. I'm sure.
You're coming in clear. I can hear
we're
you.
all jumping far ahead of the beginning, but that's kind of what I was curious about. Like you were telling me, Jenna Elfman is actually who brought you
Elfman
into
and her husband. Yeah, they were my recruiters. I was working on over at Paramount, and we walked out of the lot together, and a guy hits a car on a bicycle and goes flying over, and then they go into like this Scientology help the guy mode, you know, and did all this Scientology stuff, like they call them touch assists and stuff like that. And I saw that happening, and I was like, wow, this is like some superpower. Well, I was high as a kite when I saw this shit. I was
your life
the fuck
with Steve
out.
Carell again.
Huh?
Nothing.
What's that? So
I don't know.
So I was super coked out, really into what they were doing, and they're like, it's Scientology. So, okay, you know, Dianetics. They call it Dianetics.
Sure.
So then they set me up with the appointment over at Celebrity Center in Hollywood, which is right up, you know, Bronson and Franklin. And they sort of took it from there. You know, they signed me up for these beginning courses where you sit in a course room, and then they get you into the purification. And then the idea is that after the purification, your body is clear of all the freaking toxins.
Now, there was a course room. Were they using vulgar language? Were they showing dirty pictures? It was coarse.
No, not that kind of shit. That kind of.
Why are there crickets? Why are there crickets here?
Put the U. Put the U where the A is. Yeah, a different kind of course. But the but you know, the point is they try and just all those Sea Org people. They are trained to recruit, take your money, and that's how they live their life. That's how they got their statistics. That's, you know, they live by statistics. So they're still brainwashed. Like a lot of those SPTV people are still brainwashed drones, and that's just the sad truth. Nothing I could do about it if they want to, you know, do weird shit. You know.
No, what is this SPTV you're talking about?
Well, this is what they call their network, SP, standing for suppressive person, which is what the Scientologists call people who are against Scientology.
I've never seen SCTV.
That's the funny one.
Oh, damn it!
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
I
This is
never would have
fascinating.
thought that channel would have gotten into like drama stuff, because I saw that you were going out. I was like, wow, this guy's going after the community of a channel that, like, I'm not like obsessed with it or anything. I see that like he'll do some Danny Masterson stuff. I'm interested in Scientology, and he's just the go-to, you know, guy.
No doubt, he is.
I didn't realize that there was a whole. I guess I should have realized that there was a whole like back set of community dwellers and shit like that.
You know,
I should have known.
I really just saw it as something positive when I first saw it. You know, my intention was just to go in there and tell my story. Maybe I would get some answers. Maybe some people could get some answers from me. But these people immediately turned hostile, you know, and so we just sort of clapped back. And then it's been going on for, you know, weeks. And
you say immediately turn hostile, like you just went in there and were like, hello, everyone. And they were like, fuck you. I'm sure you went in there like kind of guns blazing a little bit. Did you not?
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, I'll tell you what
They're
happened.
like a mafia,
what
dude.
happened. They left a shitty comment. The first thing that happened is a shitty comment was left, and I've shown this in my videos. I'll show some screenshots if I have to. I'll dig. But it shows the first comment that they left of saying that we were putting out misinformation. And then we commented on that in the live stream. Then one of their people came in and said, everybody leave this live stream. And I said, hey, cunt, get the fuck out of here. And it was like Marilyn, this lady, you know, who knits, who does crochet shit. And they all got offended because I called Marilyn a cunt. And then I started to draw some pictures of her and this chick, Vanessa, who made the first thing. I got the picture right here. That's Vanessa with the lunchbox. And they got offended from that. This is artwork. This is
Audra, that seems very respectful. That seems super respectful, Audra.
But you know, like when they came into my chat and started fuck with my chat, that's when I started to do stuff like this. I started to just fuck with them back a little bit. And then they took it really personally. And then I saw a weakness. So what do you want to do? Shit.
Do you think that they could? This is fascinating. I love it. I think they could all fuck off. Do you think that they're watching by any chance right now? Do you think
Absolutely.
do you think that they could start coming after us if we say fuck Scientology? You goose.
No, they're anti-Scientology.
Yeah, they're
fucking clowns. Oh wait, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Shit.
you have to say fuck SPTV, fuck ex Scientologists.
I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah. All hail.
There you
John
go.
Travolta.
That's the way to do it. I love those. Hey, I love Mission Impossible movies. No shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Battlefield Earth. Everybody says it's a bad movie. Battlefield Earth is a 10 out of 10.
Shut up,
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up your butt.
Free Master
I can
Sims.
slap
Free
you.
Master Sims.
Whoa, God, that's gonna get
Battlefield
clipped.
Earth is
the
terrible.
pinnacle of
That's getting
Scientology weirdness was when I met John Travolta. They brought me into the president's office. A guy named Meet John- exactly.
I think. Hey,
You meet John Travolta. Yeah.
meet you.
What are you doing here?
Mr. A, I'm sorry.
Airplane.
Well, I mean,
I'm
it's
so
just so
you're
happened. They brought me to meet him. I go to shake his hand. I'm like, Mr. Travolta, I don't know what you're doing in that terry cloth robe with that baby oil in your hand, but
Oh.
Oh, did he offer you a rub and tug, or did he ask for a rub and tug?
no, I'm just kidding. It was just like a handshake meeting, and then a lot of people did a lot of chirping in my ear about this, that, and the other thing, and do this and stay with us, and you
Did
know.
you ever 69 with Kevin Spacey?
No, but I did with
Did
Cagney
you
and
say
Lacey.
nice wig?
With
Oh,
Cagney and Lacey.
John
Hey.
Both at the same time. That's impressive.
That's my favorite Hollywood three-way right there. Cagney and Lacey. Put
Mine
it
was
up.
with Captain
And,
Antonio.
you know, look, I
Yeah,
just
just
like
the
to do
captain.
nerdy, researchy shit, you know, and the more I notice and the more I look at the people who do this, and I get sent a lot of stuff from other people, you know. So, you know, we notice things and it just is what it is. You'll see that in my videos, I actually sort of see most of the stuff that I've seen, I see it live. I catch it live. So that's about 80% of what I do. The rest is what people send me. So it's all public. But these people just don't like it being mentioned, you know, because they've done some shitty stuff to some ex-Scientologists like Mike and Virginia, who are some new people that we, you know, found out they're like some of the old school Scientologists. I mean, these people are 80 years old and they are on the run, you know, living in their car. Those are the whistleblowers of Scientology. Okay. The whistleblowers of Scientology you don't hear from.
Yeah,
I'm on the run. Scientology's got my gun. They're after me for what I did to its daughter.
Oh, so you were saying, like, do you think that Danny Masterson is going to get Epstein? Is that what you were thinking?
I think that they are going to, when he gets there, he's going to have trouble finding a car, but anyone will take him who can exploit him and take money, right? So he's going to need protection no matter what. There is nowhere on motherfucking planet Earth where he is safe in the prison system, as we all know, right? As we all would agree. Put a 1 in the chat. I mean, you know, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. But the whole thing of that is
just type agree.
When they take him in there, he is a K-10, which is the highest security level in the California system. So he just has to walk around with a full, you know, 4 supervisor escort. He's a violent sexual offender, right? So I don't think he's going to make it much past the time he has enough money for protection. And I don't think he's got that much money left after that legal shit. I don't think Scientology would pony up for the whole thing. I think they want to fucking bury him.
Danny Masterson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they want to fucking bury him. Yep.
I'm
This
sorry.
whole episode.
Do you think his name sounds like a cool cowboy name?
Hi, I'm Danny Masterson.
Well, it would be Dan Masterson.
The
I don't know that it would
Masterson
be
Ranch.
Danny.
I see it.
Yeah.
There you go, Ted.
Red Rum.
There actually is a famous cowboy called Bat Masterson. He was in Tombstone around the Wyatt Earp area. He's
Oh, right.
Bat Masterson. You
Hey,
ever
wait
hear
a
of him?
second.
Did he
That
live in
movie
a cave or something?
That
Did he own
movie,
a
The
bat
Shining.
or something?
Hold on, bring it back. That movie, The Shining. There was a cook in that movie, wasn't there? A cook,
Scatman Crothers.
specific kind of cook. Thank you, the black one. Yes, thank you.
Oh, a black.
So
He's
you
a
know,
very
the
willful
Scientologists. The Scientologists themselves are not pleasant, but these ex-Scientologists are 10 times worse. I mean, they just really try and, you know, they have a private investigator. They've got a couple
I'd like
handlers in the
investigate
mix.
my
It's just
privates.
crazy shit.
Well, how good is Scientology if they can't even keep Danny out of prison? I don't even
Yeah.
understand that. Like you would think,
Well, they
like
would have
how
a-
deep is their hooks into Hollywood or like the justice system out there?
Well, it's very interesting. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Leah Remini and you've watched Leah Remini, you've seen some of her specials. There's a gentleman, and I use that term loosely, who sits next to her by the name of Mike Rinder. Mike Rinder used to be the head of intelligence at Scientology. He is sitting right next to Leah Remini, and he protected Danny Masterson for fucking decades, right?
Ooh.
He was the one who was in charge all those times, all the times that they're talking about all these grapes that have happened. He was in charge. And I will tell you, reportedly, we're going to be showing some things on my channel with Dana that we found that are shocking.
Getting to work right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me
and
tell you something.
and I promised that I would do it with Dana because we'll do this one together.
If I was
I can
sick,
imagine
all I
that
would
he's seen
need-
some shit, man. He's OT3, so I can imagine he has seen just about everything you could possibly see.
You know, when you get to those levels, you're talking about auditors, right? And the auditors themselves know about, you know, crimes against kids. They know about other grapes. They know about other offings.
Heinous crimes.
Heinous crimes, yes. Heinous crimes from A to Z. And during
Hold
those
on. Hold that thought. We'll get back to that. We have a celebrity sighting. We got a Frankie McDonald. How's it going this evening, Frankie?
Hey, buddy.
Hello, Frankie.
Hi,
How are
Frankie.
you doing so far?
I think so fire.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where are you at?
Are you down at Dooley's?
Where are
Frankie,
you?
order me a drink.
I'm at Steel City, City on Social for right now.
Nice. Are you going to be doing some karaoke this evening, sir? Zero Dark Tony, meet Frank McDonald. Have you ever
Frank,
heard
what's
of
going
him?
on, buddy? How you doing? I am familiar. With this man's work.
Frankie, do you know Tony?
I said,
Yeah,
really,
apparently we're-
new video just now.
Do karaoke,
Oh.
Frankie. Oh, he's
Are
trying
you
to
too
figure it
busy
out.
sending us videos to talk to us, buddy? What's going on here? Are you doing some karaoke tonight, buddy?
Singing any songs?
Yeah, what song are you gonna do?
I have released a new video just now.
Oh, really?
I
Nice.
just sent it a private chat.
Oh,
there we
What's
go.
it about?
Let's see this.
he's just here to plug his channel.
My 2024 Atlantic hurricane season forecast.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
I'm praying
Hey,
for
everybody.
you, Frankie.
Here's my 2024 Atlantic hurricane season forecast. It's going to bring much above average hurricane season in Atlantic, especially in East Coast of the United States, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Newfoundland, and Prince Edward Island, Florida, and Quebec, and Ontario. It's going to bring a lot of hurricanes in Atlantic, including Bermuda. It's going to bring 26 named storms, 15 hurricanes, and 9 major hurricanes in Atlantic in 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Since El Nino is going to die out in the spring of 2024. And El
Wow,
Nino's going to fade away in the
Frankie,
spring
look
of
at you,
2024. It's gonna
man.
bring even more above
Are
average Atlantic hurricane
you
season,
on
Atlantic,
some
especially in Gulf Coast. It's going to
Alberts?
reach New York. It's going to reach Netherlands, Denmark. It's going to reach, including Norway, Finland, Sweden, and even Western Russia. It's going to reach a lot of hurricanes in Atlantic.
I'm not getting the information. Now I won't know what to do.
For 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, I want every
Slow down,
single
Frankie.
person to be
Oh, thank you.
prepared.
I'll
And
prepare.
Nitrous.
Don't snort
Just in
dope.
case you lose
Or
power
Nitrous
in the
speed.
next year's Atlantic
Yes.
hurricane
You lost
season, I
power.
want every single person to
Every
be
single
prepared
person.
for 2024. Atlantic.
We're prepared, buddy. That's awesome.
Oh no! It looked like there was
yeah.
a power outage there.
Did you get all your Pepsi and Coca-Cola?
Look at him.
Oh,
Wow,
nice,
he's having
man.
a fist.
Looks like it's hopping. Oh yeah, man. Did you start the fire, Frankie?
I did start the fire.
He said he did.
I did start the fire.
Oh, okay. All
Hey
right.
Frankie, I dare you to throw one of the chairs. Just
No.
Okay.
And he's gone.
Frankie, ladies and gentlemen.
Why?
Yeah,
You
hell
want to
yeah,
throw
man.
a chair?
We love-
Come on.
Lucky. He's
So-
the best.
And that's
Yeah,
where
sorry.
it's really,
Go for it.
it gets really confusing between the Scientologists and the ex-Scientologists. You know, you got to understand that there's a separation in the communities.
Just picks right back up again. Wow.
You know, so they say. You know,
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
so we were talking about that earlier today, like people trying to get out of Scientology, and your belief is that a lot of that is just a bunch of bullshit lies. That those people actually weren't trying to get out, or their stories are bullshit.
Well, you know, I have trouble-
what community is more dangerous, Scientology or the ex-Scientology community?
The blacks.
Blacks.
I'm gonna say, to me, the ex-Scientology community is much more dangerous. To
Wow.
me, right now, in my opinion. Now, there are going to be other people who experience it differently, but Scientology isn't coming for me and trying to get my shit shut down and done up, because I'm really dealing with those people right there, because I see some grifting going on, and you'll see that's another part of my content. You know, as I kind of just notice things, and you know, nobody's perfect, but you know, how about a little explanation? You know, I'm expected to explain every fucking thing. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
a difficult
other
situation.
people, it's the internet. You got to explain. Okay, got to explain.
I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
Explanation.
Did I
An
miss Frank?
explanation.
Did I miss Frankie?
Yeah.
Ah, bum,
Damn
bastard.
it.
How was he doing?
Chair and he left.
Did he show off his
I
haircut?
did
He looked
start the
happy.
fire.
He looked happy.
He
He's
did.
He's doing great so
He
far.
did
He showed.
Like a karaoke place. Looked like he was about to rock and roll.
Yeah, he's
Oh, he was about
exactly. He's
Doolies?
at Steel City. I
Steel
saw
City.
some lights in the background, so I know it's karaoke night. I know
What
shit's a
songs does he do?
popping. There was plenty of girls well under 20 years old ready to put out. I could tell.
Not true,
By
not
the look
true.
in their eye.
And his phone. Did it look to you like everyone was kind of trying to stay far away from him? There's like a little group way over here and another
Slowly
group
backing
way
towards the
over
door.
there, and then just chairs stacked up around.
Well, fuck those
They
people.
know
No
not to
shit.
mess with the local.
Get up there and do
celebrities.
fucking Wayward Son. God damn it.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
great
no,
song.
we do.
Karaoke
We do
song.
Millions of Peaches, or we do We Didn't Start the Fire. There
Yeah.
are
Oh,
no
that's it.
other songs as far as I'm
Okay,
concerned.
fair enough.
Those are the only two you need to memorize, and that's it.
I respect the
Get too close
choice.
to the Frankie and don't feed him. If you feed
Don't look
him,
him directly in the eye and make me
he
sudden
doesn't
move
bite
around
you.
anyone,
Exactly.
around anybody.
you
Yeah. Okay. So like in the Dabbleverse and shit, a bunch of people keep saying to the other shows that they are grifting. He's gone. Yeah.
What?
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
no, he just
he's
What?
over.
Okay. He's pulling out his butt. I thought he disappeared off screen. I thought it was
No,
like
no,
he's
I'm
out of here.
listening. I got headphones on. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Oh, no, I was saying that people have accused other shows of money laundering, like they're using the super chat system in a way to actually like an actual money, like a 30%. You know, that you have to pay YouTube for super chats, but other than that, has that been something you've seen in the community you've been watching, the SPTV or whatever, like that shit, Scientology, whatever
Look,
their
I mean, when I look at,
podcasts are.
right, when I look at the Shuli channel, and when I look at the SPTV Growing Up Scientology specifically, because that is the flagship channel for this network. You've got your Noras, you've got your Lara FMs, your Degraded Daughters of Scientology. And by the way, those are the ones that claim they're the master grower with 48 lights. Do you know how many lights 48 fucking lights is?
How many?
She couldn't put
a lot of shish kebabs.
Two less than 50.
Oh,
It's like a warehouse.
Yeah, that's huge. This fucking chick couldn't fucking put a fence together or a camera up,
right?
But she could do a 48 light grow. Do you know the technical aptitude you have to have?
What?
Yeah, psychos will glom on to anything that's popular.
Right.
So you got that sort of situation there, I'd say.
So, and with each one of these channels, let's try and make this. And, we also have an Aaron, by the way, because he's the one who's at Growing Up Scientology. And we also have a Chad. we have a Chad. His name is Clearwater Chad.
Wow.
Oh, too bad his name's not Sad Chad, right? Or Mud Shark for short.
Is there a Kevin Brennan also in the
probably a Scientologist name?
Well, there is a Brennan, right?
I don't know. I really don't. But
Neil,
these people are just they don't know how to take being ridiculed on the internet. They clap back with doxing. They don't want to answer the questions because obviously, well, you hit a nerve and that's what happens. This is how somebody reacts when they're liars, not when they're telling the truth about something, when they could be transparent and say, hey, well, this is what happens. This is where it goes. And this is what we do with it, because they are representing a public charity. They're taking money under the guise of a charity. And some of them were putting it in their personal PayPal accounts. Now, I haven't looked at them all. Some of them still might do that. But that opened the door to all the other questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
so you're saying they were taking donations on their PayPal and saying they were going to put that towards some GoFundMe shit?
It was going to be
organization.
They're representing the Aftermath Foundation. Okay, that's what they represent. That's how they take a lot of their super chats. Now the memberships obviously would be different, but again, they're all going under the guise of this charity.
I'd want to see receipts for sure. Like if it was going to their personal PayPal, because I've done that. I've taken donations for somebody to put on their canteen into my PayPal because that's all I have. I'm not like an organization, but I showed nobody anymore. But this was a long time ago. But I showed the receipt from my PayPal of the exact amount that I donated to JPay or whatever the fuck.
Cool. You're transparent with your transaction.
Yeah, that's it. Do they have anything like that? Or
no.
That's just like, I feel like that's just that's common courtesy.
And I personally bought a mug to support that cause. So I'm someone who actually donated, and they're not answering my questions about what they do with the money. So
you're part of the mug club, the Scientology mug club.
I don't know what that means. The mug club. Yes, I did. It was a
Crowder.
Mug. You're right.
It's a Crowder.
You're right. Yes, I am. God damn it. But actually,
deep is right. Do any of their donors bitch about that?
Yes, but they get blocked.
Like big donors?
Yes, I have DMs from donors that have said to me like, "Thank you, for making some of these videos because we're not doing it anymore." Some of them have tried to get refunds as well.
Oh, what are they going to do you or something?
I don't know if they've been issued those refunds, but I know people have tried to get them.
Yeah, that's their prerogative.
This is you're mainly talking about the Nora chick right now.
I'm talking about the entire. I'm talking about the entire network. It would be.
That's mainly like Leah Remini then, with the Afterlife thing.
Think of it very much like the Shuli network. You've got one main guy, Shuli, Aaron, and then you've got all the other creators under him trying to take his spot, basically. You know what I mean? Like, there's someone at the top, then there's everybody trying to eat your lunch, right?
Hell yeah.
Or
when I get sick, all I need is Leah Remini.
So, Leah Remini is now, after 20 years, she's filing a case. Seems pretty unique timing. So it seems like a lot of this is just to keep the ball up in the air so they could keep taking these donations and or laundering money from some alleged counterfeit art sales that we sort of uncovered.
Yeah, Steph, this might be one of your folks.
Yeah.
Ian's GoFundMe for mental health care. Many questions. They have no receipts.
Yeah, this is a kid that won't explain the breakdown of how he came to $15,000. Like, there's a number that he has that is $15,000 on his GoFundMe, right? So why 15,000? How did you come to that number for your treatment? You need medications. He was very specific about what he needed. How did you come to this number? Break it down. Then he had something on that was a community note that said, hey, and this was last year, a year ago. He said, I am going to a therapist. I will update you when I get back. No update, nothing. So when you start looking at people taking money and people that, what bothered me was you go down his GoFundMe and then there's a 70-year-old person. They said, I'm 70. I'm on benefits. I don't have much, but here's $50, right? So that's like an old person giving him money to fuck that's on benefits when he can't be clear about what he needs. It's just $15,000. Like, what the fuck? These are old people, man. That's not okay. That's not okay. You got to answer for that old guy. Fuck all the rest of the people. Answer for that old guy. We're giving him his money back.
They've been through the shit. I'm like, what? We're going through the shit, but they've been through the shit.
What do you mean?
Old people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elderly are not to be fucked
depending on how old they are, I guess. It's relative.
70?
I don't know. I have an unpopular opinion about that. They're on their way out, dude.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm jokes.
Pleasant. Yeah, I try to make it pleasant.
Yeah, give it away because you can't take it with you. Is that what you're saying?
But at the same time, I mean, that one in particular was what got me about that whole GoFundMe was, well, you're not being very specific or very transparent about it, and when you're taking money in the name of a charity and being attached to a charity, even you have a certain accountability, and that's just what I think. I don't take money like that,
No.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of like the Hillary Foundation too, like with the Leah Remini thing. Is that like a huge multi-million-dollar charity?
They just came off of this Danny Masterson thing. They get a lot of media coverage because of Leia, and they take in tens of thousands of dollars in super chats in very short periods of time. Whether it's 2 or 3 days, I think we've seen up to $40,000. That's a staggering amount for super chats. When you look at Dr. Disrespect, and I showed this the other day, I think Dr. Disrespect has either 2.4 million, double check me, or 4.2 million subscribers. And he doesn't get that much in super chats. They have what?
Dr. Disrespect also encourages his viewers not to donate because he's super, super duper rich. To be fair.
Right. But people will donate anyway. And when you're on that kind of volume, there are going to be people that come in that just don't know, right, that he doesn't take super chats, right? So when you have someone like that or some of these other huge gaming pages, right? You have people that are taking in tens of thousands of dollars, but over a month. It takes a month, whereas these guys, it takes 3 days. It's just out of scale.
How many people does he have on average in his lives? On his lives,
I haven't seen it for a little while, but you can. I haven't seen it for a little while.
I don't think I've ever caught it live.
I know it's anywhere between, I've seen anywhere between 900 to 3,000.
Okay.
In his lives. That's just what I've seen. But that was a while ago. I haven't watched in a while. I just, I choose not to watch it. Right? I get clips, People send me, articles, and that's just really basically
Yeah,
what I've
okay,
been
so
doing a lot of my content on.
well, yeah, so recently he's had some pretty good big numbers, probably because of the Danny Masterson shit. He's getting
Yeah.
like 400,000 people watching overall. He's got
407. That's a
100.
lot for them.
Yeah,
That's a
and
lot.
he's got 194,000 subscribers. But
Yeah.
before Danny Masterson, he was down in the numbers, like
He
100,000.
was at about
But
169,000.
recently went back up to like 400,000.
Right. So, this is that media clip that they're going to ride on. Once this is over, it will be just like it was before the Danny Masterson trial because they lost a lot. Right. So before the Danny Masterson trial, they were losing a lot of views, a lot of watch time. Now they have they got the bump from it.
Anytime anything happens in Scientology, they get a bump. Like I remember when they were talking about David Miscavige's wife for a little while, they got a bump in numbers.
Well, it's very interesting that people talk about Shelley, but another name that people don't talk about is Karen de la Carriere's ex-husband, who goes by the name of Heber Jensch. He was the president of Scientology after L. Ron Hubbard passed away, and he is allegedly locked up in this prison camp type thing called Gold Base up in Hemet, and he is locked up there.
Hemet, California.
Yes,
right.
And that's, I think, supposed to be where Shelley Miscavige is, allegedly. But Heber Jensch was the president of Scientology, and nobody mentions Heber.
I love these names.
What the fuck is that about? You know what I mean? He was the president. Shelley Miscavige is David Miscavige's wife. Okay, great. Let's talk about her. Let's bring awareness. But to not talk about Heber Jensch, holy shit. This guy was the president of Scientology. He had 40 siblings because he was a Mormon.
Miscavige. Don't itch it too hard, it'll bleed.
So here we go. We got a comment.
Yeah.
Steph, Aaron bragged that 15,000 wasn't that much money, but when it came to hitting like 170,000, he donated $500 to the Aftermath to get others to donate. What happened to $15,000 being chump change?
Yeah, $15,000 is an extraordinary amount of money for super chats in a 90-minute, or maybe even it was a little bit of a marathon. Any fucking stream, $15,000 is extraordinary for super chats.
15,000 isn't a lot.
What?
Okay, Aaron.
750,000.
15,000 isn't a lot.
Yeah, 750,000 is a lot.
15,000 isn't a lot, but for super chats, it's a lot.
$750,000, huh?
15,000 is a lot.
And I looked up some of the numbers of some of the top people that get, but they get like, they have so many followers that's so out of scale. It's hard to quantify, but it still is a lot.
Quantify.
How could it not be? It's just a lot. Period.
How about like Danny Masterson? You were saying like he had protection, and so was it like one of these Epstein situations where like it was an open secret, everyone kind of knew about it, but no one, like it took a long time for the shit to catch up to Epstein. It took 15, 20 years for them to realize what was going on, or maybe maybe they never cared. But it became so obvious that they had to do something about it because they were getting so many complaints in Florida for Epstein, for example.
Well, there are very few similarities I see, because I also do a lot of Epstein stuff, and talking about Danny Masterson, the only things that are common are the nature of the crimes, right? So you've got a lot of crimes having to do with, of a sexual nature. So when you're talking about someone like Danny Masterson's more of a pawn, whereas Jeffrey Epstein was in the pockets of some of the most powerful people in the world.
He was a rook.
Perhaps a rook.
Yeah.
What's that horsey thing called?
Yeah. I don't know. Knight. It's a knight, right?
Thank you.
They can
Thank you.
jump.
Yes, it is dark out right now. I believe that there, if you're just going on a basic security of someone who is a target, I mean, like I said, Danny Masterson is not safe anywhere. He's still down in LA County. They haven't moved him yet.
You think someone's gonna kill him?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Not
hide.
He can't hide anywhere. So
Oh, wait a minute. What's his name?
there's nowhere to hide.
He's on the lam.
He is.
God bless him.
He's on the lam with no chops, baby. He is.
No, don't God bless him. What are you saying?
He's fucked.
I said God bless him. Hopefully, God blesses him in his endeavors.
So when they milk him dry,
like
of all
burning
his
in
money
hell.
and commissary and protection,
someone would milk
they
it
are
dry.
going to they'll buy him and sell him several times, and they'll probably stretch him out a little bit in there.
Oh,
the guards will give the boys some time with him. Trust me, they don't like the predator types. They'll open up the fucking cell for him.
But he's not a molester. They do that to
he'll be in ASEG.
Bro.
He'll be
He
in
is
administrative
he is
segregation.
a violent predator of a sexual nature.
Well, you don't think there's enough people
but
in there that's
he's
like
famous and a chomo, so he'll be protected.
He'll
be separated.
What I was saying is, God bless him because all human beings are human beings. Let's be honest.
That's a way to look
The
at
blacks.
That's all.
I protect him.
Well, now
sit in a circle and fucking
you're
smoke weed in the camera.
you're conflicting my argument.
Do something funny.
He is in a really shitty place right now. He's in the high power wing over at LA County. He's in his own cell. Anytime he goes to, let's say, for medical or anything, he is shackled, and they walk him through the hallway with 4 supervisors. So
he's not going to go to the fuck my ass penitentiary, is he?
I hope he hangs
like I said, he will be bought and sold many times. Yeah, he will be bought and sold many times.
I guess my question, he was protected on the outside. Epstein was protected by higher ups. I guess that was kind of my question. How deep is Scientology's reach for people keeping his secrets out of the public eye, or obviously getting charged for sex crimes and shit like that?
Well, that's a great question because it's media influence, right? So you're basically getting media influence from any of the contacts that you have got in your pocket,
So the stories won't be written if.
Right.
I got my contacts in my eyes.
It's not that they didn't know the story existed. It's that it just never got wrote down and fucking put out there publicly. So you can have stories are going to be put out, squashed by paying reporters not to post the story or blah, blah, blah.
Well, for example, a guy like AJ Benza, for example. Do you know who AJ Benza is? Okay.
Sounds familiar.
AJ Benza was a gossip columnist. Okay. AJ Benza was paid by Harvey Weinstein to run replacement cover stories. So if the publicist came to Harvey, if the press came to Harvey Weinstein's publicist and said, "Hey, we got this thing to run. Do you have anything else?" AJ Benza would feed them a story. Okay. So that's really how it would work. It would work through influence, through money, through, hush money, through payments. And when it was Epstein, the person who did it with Epstein was a guy by the name of Graydon Carter. There was an article that was supposed to be written in Vanity Fair. Graydon Carter is the former editor of Vanity Fair, friend of, you'll see him at parties with Epstein and with Ghislaine, whose father, by the way, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert, took courses at Scientology. He was one of the first publishers of Dianetics with his publishing company through his British publishing contacts. So, it goes really deep down that way as well. But, to be Graydon Carter, and what they did was they sort of I believe they put a deceased feline on his door, and he killed the story. He killed the Epstein story. That's what Graydon Carter is known. He killed the Epstein story in Vanity Fair, and that's why Epstein was not exposed earlier, essentially.
Wait. What do you think that message was? Dead cat. Does that mean like I'll smash your puss, or
Maybe it was his cat. I don't know.
I
Maybe
kill
he likes
pussy?
cats. Right.
Kill
Exactly.
all the
Pussy
pussy.
killer.
I'm gonna nail it to your door. That kind of thing. But yeah, so you see some of those similarities, and ironically enough, Leah Remini's attorney is Bradley Edwards, who represented some of the Epstein victims.
Leah Remini, I barely know her.
Oh, but you see, they're using the same attorneys as the Epstein victims were, and that's Bradley Edwards. So yeah, a lot of crazy, weird connections between the old
Mr.
island
A,
and Scientology.
would you like to say
ironically enough.
anything?
Yeah. So
Wasn't me.
I know Rose McGowan talked about that, like that he had an entire workforce behind him, Harvey Weinstein, like trying to squash all the, like a publicist, but in
Rose
anti-publicist,
barely
like
knew
trying
her.
to smash stories.
NCAA.
Doesn't that's not one.
Because I know I've seen Rose McGowan's Tucker Carlson interview, which was really interesting. Did you catch that one?
No.
It's like you
Yeah, it
just
was
teach a
good
guy a
shit.
joke. for
But
the
she
first
said
time, a
she
new
was
joke,
talking
and
about a
kinda
lot
has
of
the
the stuff
concept.
like you're talking about.
Right. But I mean, these are things that are out there that people don't, that you get throttled on your channels when you start talking about some of this stuff. When you discuss Hunter and whatever's going on with him, you get checked, and you get all kinds of so a lot of this stuff is really hidden by a lot of larger mechanisms.
Which Hunter are you talking about?
Okay, so
Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
go ahead, Mr. A. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just wondering. I was confused. I
Biden.
get confused sometimes.
Biden.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley? Oh, Biden. Okay, my bad.
Hunter S. Thompson? No, we're not doing
Yes,
Fear and
Hunter.
Loathing in Las Vegas tonight, Mr. A.
A good hunter,
Oh,
kind
Great
of,
movie, great movie.
in a way.
A better hunter.
Yes.
Who do you
A
think
better
did more
hunter.
drugs? Hunter S. Thompson or Hunter S.
Hunter S.
Biden?
Thompson. Hunter S.
Yeah,
Thompson
this
by
would
far.
be
and away.
JP Morgan Chase.
Who do you think had sex with more underage women? Hunter S. Thompson or Hunter S. Biden?
Hunter Biden, probably.
Okay.
Hunter
I just
Biden.
wanted him to win one.
Yeah, all Bidens have had.
You probably
more
filmed it
sex with
too.
underage women.
Probably on that laptop.
Hunter Thompson fired more guns.
We were somewhere around Barstow when I was having sex with my
soon?
underage cousin.
Too soon. All right.
No,
Sorry.
I don't know. So I guess my question was like protection up and above. So like Scientology, how much power do they have from the forces? The people we don't know.
Mhm.
We don't know who they are, but they have the power. We just assume there's always these conspiracy theories going on. I guess we're not going to go on a 4chan and check out what Q has to say about it today, but we
Thank
just
God.
assume that there is some dark, deep shit, and that's kind of what this story came out. That
My
JP
asshole's
Morgan
full.
Chase allegedly informed the government of over $1 billion in transactions related to human trafficking by the late financier Jeffrey Epstein, dating back to 2003, 20 years ago, said a lawyer from. But anyway, so like that came out that they had even alerted the government that there's all these fucking weird transactions going on. Probably some illegal funny money, some oddball stuff going on. And
It's almost
obviously
like-
there
it's almost
was
like
a
JP
mechanism
Morgan Chase
somewhere.
funded the island. It's almost like JP Morgan Chase funded the island.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, but they had alerted the government that there was funny money going on.
Which island?
Which they did nothing. They did nothing about it, obviously. So my point was that they probably had people in the government at the tops of the government protecting him, i.e., the Clintons and whatever, etc.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at this, you'll see that these cases. I mean, people also Elon Musk is being subpoenaed in this J.P. Morgan thing. The people who who run Google, right? I mean, you're talking about some very high level people. I mean, if you're wondering why some of this stuff gets throttled, well, in the J.P. Morgan Epstein case, they got people that the two top guys at Google, the founders.
Who's
Larry
that?
something and Gabaganish, the other guy. I forget the
Jeff
name
Google.
right.
Larry Google.
Indian guy.
Larry Google.
Larry Google. Larry
and Ganesh
Page.
Ganesh Google. What?
Larry Page.
Hello.
Larry Page. That's right. And who's the other guy? The
I'm
engine
Larry
fella.
Google.
Yeah.
The engine fella.
The little engine that could.
Mm-hmm.
Dot, not feather.
Sergey Brin.
Yes. That's
Brin.
him.
Brin.
He sounds a little more Russian than engine, but maybe that's the other guy. There's a lot of them that have been subpoenaed on this thing. It's crazy.
Well, we just found out about the whole net. Oh, I mean, we kind of knew about it, but the Netlink thing with Elon Musk and the Ukraine over there, that was kind of wild.
Right.
The story sort of broke big time this week. Right?
Everybody just put a chip in your head. It's okay. Trust me.
What's that?
Fuck
No,
you.
that's the Neuralink.
No.
This is the Starlink. I'm sorry. I think I misspoke. The internet everywhere.
He cut off Ukraine's ability to use Starlink for a period of time, and apparently Biden and whatever they're looking into it at this point to see if there was anything that the government can do to come after. Obviously the name of the company. Yeah, exactly. The name of the company is X. Mark Twitter with an X on the spot so they can fucking target it easier now, right? They know right where to look.
For
X
sure.
marks the spot.
They took that X down in San Francisco because it was too bright on the building. How obnoxious. Yeah, to put this big fucking goddamn 20 million candle power freaking logo up on top of a building in San Francisco. That's, just.
What are you saying? The local city council made them take it down?
I think it was the people complained because they
Well,
had like
for me to start a social media and call it Twitter.
Can
I make a Twitter?
I always call it Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter.
No, can I start a new thing and call it Twitter if they're not using Twitter anymore? What if somebody did that?
Grow up to be whatever you want to be.
Go for it.
Believe in yourself, mister. You got to believe in yourself, buddy. Yeah. We believe in you.
I'm doing it. I'm going to be the owner of Twitter. I'm starting it right now. Who's signing up?
Signing up?
No.
Yeah, Balls Deep calls it. The Hunter laptop was only one piece of that metadata puzzle. Agreed. I have a feeling someday we might find out more than was on Hunter's laptop. But mostly that was just his own personal shit.
Imagine if they were like, let's just fucking get this AI technology that the world doesn't know about yet, but we know about it, and let's fucking make all these phony pictures and emails and just drop it up into that thing and fucking have a Hunter Biden lookalike go drop it off at that store in Connecticut, and here we are. That could.
That's how they
really
fake the election.
Possibility. There's always a possibility.
Right? Like, listen, I came up with that idea when I was on acid this weekend.
Oh.
So what?
Use
your head.
Was it
Derek?
Water or?
Am I wrong?
Black one.
Oh no.
What's the most acid you ever taken in one sitting?
Oh boy, yeah.
400.
I used to party. I think it was like we used to just bite the corner off of a sheet. So about 25, 30 hits at once. I think that was.
You bit the curb. That wasn't.
We used to have these things called
I
four-way
don't think
window
you
panes.
understand what he just said unless you're experienced with that shit. I'm sure Mr.
Yeah, I was at a
Derek
festival in the far way away from society, so I was like, all right, I'm not going nowhere. So
we had these things called four-way window panes. They were like a gel pyramid.
Yeah.
Did they have a glory hole in them?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
If you want, we can get you one.
Yeah.
The blue
All
ones,
you can
the
be.
orange ones.
Those are very
I
interesting
like
people.
a two-way window with a
ones.
fucking glove.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Bobby
anyway,
P knows his
back to the
colors.
show, Derek. Please, Derek, take the show.
No,
back
no,
over.
no. I used to buy vials of acid in California from the rave people, and like when you just squirt that shit in your mouth, it was like, oh yeah.
I did
Feeling
so
good.
much acid that I thought the rain was acid. Okay, that's how much acid I did.
Yep.
And I thought
been
the
there.
rain was more acid, dosing me
I've been
heavier.
I did so much acid.
How much was it?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
doing
just
like
saying,
those.
I did so much
There's
acid.
no tag to that.
Like before the show?
Tag.
I tend to believe you, buddy.
I was just, I'm just trying to talk about some cool shit.
But you got all these famous people. I mean, what do you know about like Tom Cruise and let's say Tom Hanks?
Derek, can you do me a favor?
Do you know that? What's up, Stevie Lou?
Can you throw up this Guy's comment over here?
Oh,
Don't do that.
No, right above it. I think that's the second part.
Oh,
of the
you
phrase.
like this one? You like you
She's
sound
not
so
wrong.
dumb, Lou?
She's not wrong. That's why I'm like, hey.
Yeah, well, she's just circling back to the acid thing. She just assumes. Maybe you burnt one too many brain cells, Stevie Lou. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of burnt one too
that
many
shit
brain
up.
cells, I kind of need to pop in and speak to Ray for a few minutes. I've got something to settle with that motherfucker.
Tell him I said
Well,
hi.
are you coming back, or do we need to do the boxing shit right now?
I will try to come back.
Can you tell him that
Well,
he needs
we could do this in 5 minutes.
If
From
you want to
this
do that in 5 minutes,
century-
I'll give. Sorry, what was that, Tony?
just tell him he needs to get a suit from this century, this millennium.
Okay,
I'll pull this up.
send them
in
your
your
way.
My message.
Yeah, and quiet. Like we could.
I
Do
can
that.
help
the
him.
link.
I'm sure if I'm late a few minutes, that's fine. I'm not.
I can help him.
You're
can
totally
help
right.
that kid.
We should get get me on some of this update. Here. Update of the black ups. Up.
An update
You
of
just
the
made
blanks.
me. I went into DVD. Hey, go to see Ween tomorrow night. You guys know that band Ween at all?
I've actually seen that in my recommended.
I'm
Are they
fucking
good? What kind of
psyched.
music is it?
They are hard rock.
Okay. All right.
Ween's cool.
So I had been looking forward to this bad boy for quite some time.
You should wean off of that.
I will.
Yes.
Are any of them the black? Thank you.
Yes.
Good job,
The
Rob.
I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
No, I don't know Ween.
Oh, I forgot. I was already talking about that. Yeah, no, they're a kind of underground dish, cult following sort of band. And they're very talented and are on tour right now and doing just a short run across the country. And New York is one of their last stops of the tour. So I am.
It's one of those jams where for
not
15
jam
minutes you can't tell if.
I was gonna
they're playing
ask,
a
are they a
song
jam
that's-
band?
No, that's fish. No,
Fish.
Oh,
no.
my bad.
No,
I'm
completely
sorry.
different experience. They are a rock and roll. People like mosh pit and shit, and
Oh.
we'll crowd surf, and it gets wild. Crowd is nuts.
Okay. My
At a
bad.
Ween concert is like punk
Yeah.
rock.
It can because they'll do like 4 or 5 of their hard rock songs together. You know, they got one song called "It's Gonna Be a Long Night" that sounds exactly like a Motorhead song. It sounds exactly like that was their reference point was Motorhead, and they nailed it. So if they ever play "It's Gonna Be a Long Night," people start fucking shoving each other and bopping around pretty hard. You know, but then they will go into like an acoustic portion where they'll play like kind of cowboy songs and it'll calm for a little bit. But absolutely, they have a couple of ass kicker songs that when they play it, the people start getting active.
I like this
His
one song
throat's
they do. It's
fucked.
called, they used to have a teacher that bought me cookies and it tastes good.
I think you just described Bon Jovi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this Bobby
Sure,
Lee?
about Kid Rock. I'm a
He does look like Bobby
cowboy,
Lee, but I don't think it is.
baby.
He looks like Bolo Young and Bobby Lee mix. He's like a Bolo Lee.
Maybe it's more like
Baby Bobby
Pantera.
Lee.
It's Cowboys from Hell. More like that.
Oh, look, it's Stevie Lou, L-U. That's great. I love it.
Okay, here we go. This is from Monday night. Anyway.
Like when I fucking, because it's my gym, but we could do it at my gym. We have waivers ready to go at some UFC gym, and they won't get back to us. And I was like, at this point, we could just do it. I'd like a ring, but we could do it anywhere.
Proud
But
Boys,
you're not getting out of this. And I have not forgotten
the
about
first Westfester Proud Boys didn't have a ring. They just had a big mat
with gloves. Yeah, I saw the gloves there.
And the fighting was just you could tell these guys don't box professionally. Just lots of haymakers. Good fights though.
Nice.
I don't think people know that every Proud Boys gathering has a boxing ring. But I never do it. Like boxing when you're drunk, you're begging for a concussion.
I do some
Every
nice
time you
things.
watch these fight videos on the street, too, the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you got a problem? Well, fuck you." And then he gets punched, and he's always out. There's something about your brain when it's got alcohol in it that you just. And I don't want to. I've been knocked out a couple times. It sucks.
It's that bad.
Different gloves.
First of all, you don't know. You know those videos where the guy.
All right. Well, anyway, so I guess the main point of that was he was talking about. I think the time stamps were different on my phone than they are on the fucking video, which is unfortunate. I think I needed to back up a little bit and let me listen. But he was mainly saying like everything's your fault for the scheduling of it and whatnot.
Right.
He was trying to put that on you. That not that you're backing out, but that you're not making any effort whatsoever to get it done. And the best that you could come up with was a UFC ring. When he was like, "Well, I already got a ring. You just need to show up here." Of course, it is home field advantage, whatnot.
I said from the beginning, my coach, my corner said, "No, we're not going into his gym." He had a really bad experience the last time he did that, and now it's either got to be a neutral place, or he said he wants to come to my place. So I'm going to ask.
Who's
I'm going
fighting?
to ask my
Stevie Lou and that guy we were just looking at, the Asian looking one.
The Bolo Young dude. You're
Yes.
gonna fight Asian. You're gonna fight Bolo Bobby Lee.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Asian Pat Dixon. You were about to say it. That's correct.
I'm actually really looking forward to doing that. So yeah, I mean, if we could do it at our place, I'm going to find out. It's not a fucking ring either, so that's a problem. But we'll do it there. We could square off.
just
We could
doing a
have a
smoker?
barrier. What's that?
Just a smoker.
A smoker.
Yeah, meaning like a unsanctioned fight, or is there going to be like an ambulance around, or what?
Smoker.
You just need to go out back. That's what you need to do. Just go
Yeah.
out back and beat the shit out of each other.
Bare
There's a
knuckles, or
fucking
we're
first
doing-
aid kit. There's a first aid kit at the gym.
What kind of hand gear and headgear are we talking about here?
I'm down for
Have you
whatever.
thought about
I mean,
the
Hulk
ounces
gloves?
of the gloves? What are we talking?
Big Hulk hands.
I mean, I only
MMA
own
gloves?
I only own a pair of big 16-ounce gloves, so I would have to get whatever size lower. I'm down. I don't give a
Okay.
fuck. I'm training with the
Black one.
highest level. The black. Yes, I
Is
do
he-
like
okay,
that
you're
color.
doing boxing. So this is a boxing match.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. 16.
And I've been
ounces,
training.
fine.
He's apparently he's put all his training in. He thinks he's an actual boxer. I heard that today. You guys missed out. A really good. Maybe we could try to break it down on another episode. But we had a great actual interaction today between him and I.
Really?
About
Your
this.
opponent?
I
Like,
thought so at least. Yeah.
Okay.
Sizing each other
But
up.
all right,
Please
I'm gonna
excuse
jump over.
me. Excuse
Let me
me,
jump
I have
over
to go
there.
finger my
Like that,
pussy. Bye. I have to go too.
See you later,
I have
buddy.
to go finger my pussy. Bye.
Go
All right.
pick up, the cat off the guy's doorstep or whatever you did.
All right, I am gonna jump. I'm sorry.
No, fair enough. Go over there.
I may jump back in.
Yeah.
I may jump back
Yeah,
in very
just go
quick
right
because
in.
I have a score to settle with this guy. So
I could stand on my head for 3 hours, bro. So I got.
All right.
I'm good.
Tony, you've been aces.
Thank you,
How-
sir. Always a pleasure.
Did a thumb thing. And Tony was great. Little Lemmy was great. And Derek, you're great also. I'm gonna go on Ray DeVito now.
That's nice cupcake for the cupcake.
Thumbs up.
I'm telling you, if Ray DeVito got a nice, like, gray single vent 3-button suit with a black tie, and he started with a skinny black tie, he is a tall, thin. He's got to think like David Bowie when he goes on stage. He's got to be thin, the thin white white Duke. Can we come up with another name for him though? The thin white puke.
He could be the thin, tall, thin, short George Clooney. I don't know, maybe like a skinny Clooney.
I thought he was a tall fella.
I'm 5'10".
Yeah, I thought he was over 6 foot. I thought it was Ray over 6 foot. He looks just tall and lanky. He needs a fucking suit. And if he went on stage with a suit, I'm telling you, I would take his career to a different level.
I've seen some of his stand-up work lately. He's actually a fairly good comedian, in my honest, humble opinion. The shorts he's been putting out have been pretty fucking good, dude. I've heard people make fun of his. I don't know. It's hit and miss from what I hear from people, but comedy is subjective, so I'm not going to jump into that one too hard.
He doesn't eat the microphone, so start there.
Yeah.
All I know.
He's not a hack. He's a hack.
Ray DeVito don't sell tickets. Maybe he finally gets some puss or some dick or whatever he likes.
Yeah, it's hard to say with that guy. He's got chicks that hang out with him that seem to be down with doing stuff with him, but he doesn't seem to be able to close the deal on any of that action. So I don't know what the deal is with that shit.
If he gets a gig in LA, we got to get him over to West Hollywood. We got to do some IRL with Ray in West Hollywood to see if, maybe he likes it over there.
Yeah.
What if he's going to meet a handsome fellow with a nice body in West Hollywood? A good body, a good, nice, manly body.
A man with tits and tucks well, hides it good.
Hey, there's a lot of glory holes there. I ran into a couple by accident.
Yeah, nothing glorious though about that.
Like in band camp.
Hell yeah. Did you ever get to meet who are the most famous people you met in Scientology?
It would just be Tom and John. They were like the top but I also, a friend of mine was dating Kirstie Alley. Right? So, I had a lot of experiences hanging out with her and being probably much more social with Kirstie Alley than with Tom or John, even though there were some parties and some events that they were, the people went to that people commingled, but this was like, I went to Kirstie's house and, we hung out there and went on, many excursions with my Scientology chick at the time. You know what I mean? Like it was a whole Scientology double dating thing with Kirstie and James. His name was James Wilder. It's public, like you just have to look it up.
Like Gene Wilder? Might have been his son or something?
No. But Marty Feldman is Corey Feldman's dad, the guy with the big eyes in the
like Young Frankenstein and shit?
Yeah. That's fucking Corey Feldman's dad. Yeah, Marty Feldman.
No way, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
I never fucking knew
Igor.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Igor.
Wasn't your lump on the other side? Abby Normal.
Yep, that is his
I love
dad.
that movie, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
So, there's a lot of
Go ahead.
weird parties and, things that happen out in Hollywood that I haven't been to in a long time. I mean, I'm long since retired from that lifestyle. But, there was one time when I'll tell you my Stevie Wonder story real quick. One time we ended up at this party. Actually, it was, I forget the name of the movie, but it was some submarine movie that Denzel Washington and James Gandolfini were both in. I forget the name of it. It escapes me. You guys can look.
Blue
it up.
Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide, was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. So, you know, they were working on, so they were hanging out together. They come to this party. I'm at the same party. And we're all doing a bunch of the yay, very fine quality yayo. And I didn't really know whose house it was at or anything like that. And I sort of wandered towards the back room thinking I'm going to the bathroom. And I opened the door and it was fucking Stevie Wonder, right? And just sitting sort of like in this studio room. And, you know, we had met earlier. We had hung out at restaurants. I had seen him before. Well, he didn't see me, but I had seen him before. But I don't think this fucking guy's blind. He's like reaching for glasses and shit and not looking. So we're sitting down.
I don't think he's blind either.
What's that?
That's been a silly hill that I've dedicated myself to dying on, is that Stevie Wonder's not actually fucking blind.
It's hard to believe that would be true. So this guy is listening to some tracks, you know, on a computer, sitting there and, you know, just like a little studio room. And some girls come in and they ask him if there's any more blow in there, blah, blah, blah. She says to go he said to go out, you know, his assistant had some out there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, going out there, girls. Yeah. And they went out there and he reaches into his vest. He pulls out like just some big fucking Coke rocks with this plastic bag. He holds it up. He goes, "This shit make you lie." That's the Stevie Wonder story. And then everybody was just doing cocaine for the rest of the night. So that's when the shots started and became a bit of a blur.
Yeah, we did that deep dive. Actually, Lemmy was on our show when we were watching. Yeah, we watched that video of him catching the microphone on stage. Like totally just reaches out. He sees it falling and reaches out and grabs it real quick. We watched that a few times. Have you ever seen that?
It was just like the way he reached for his drink, and you know what I mean. Just like not tapping anything or any shit like that. Just right for it. Like the fuck.
Yeah, well, there's a comedian too that said that he got onto an elevator. Was it Dave Chappelle? I'm not sure exactly, but said he got onto the elevator with him, and he said, "Oh, hey, how's it going, Dave?" Like just flat out. Like obviously he saw him, so it's like, that's busted. Hilarious. I forget if I'm pretty sure it was Dave, but I'm not 100% sure on that story. But hell yeah,
yeah, a lot of crazy cocaine nights and you know, drugs and staying awake for 3-4 days and going out to Vegas and, you know, just a lot.
So you had fun. Is that what you're saying?
I had a blast. I mean, you know, I had a blast. I really did. I mean, I can't complain. You know, I got to do a little bit of touring, a little bit of working in film and television. Am I a little bitter about Scientology fucking with my management and fucking me in the long run? Sure. But, you know, I just try to make the best of it.
Can we ask you what you did? Because you were talking about working for Paramount Studios and that kind of shit. What were you up to?
I've done some acting work, and after that, my management kind of got fucked up after I left Scientology. And, you know, I was working on some TV series. I worked on some film projects. But primarily, I was building something. You know, I was on a network show at the time, and I was building something up, and I got to a point where I was getting there. But then I met Jenna Elfman and Bodhi, and then I met the people at Scientology, and I feel like they really kind of influenced my management negatively when I left there. They give you they roll out the magic carpet, and then when you don't do everything, they take it away. And that's really just sort of
you're a member of SAG and all that?
Yeah. Still am today.
Oh,
that explains why you're extra sensitive about that Ian kid also.
What?
You just explained what happened to you, and it's basically what you're saying is happening to that kid. Scientology's like just throwing him out on his ass, and the people who said that they were going to help him out aren't.
Well, I don't feel like I'm in the same, I can empathize with him, but I don't feel like.
No, that's what I mean. I didn't say it was the same situation. I said it's understandable why you would take that extra, like a little to heart extra.
And I believe the damage to a lot of those people is so much more severe on that Sea Org level because it's a much more heavy indoctrination, and it's different, you know. It's a different way of doing things. I mean, who signs a billion-year contract? Who has a child sign a billion-year contract? I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I said, I really do feel for him, but you know, we can duke it out a little bit. That is absolutely correct, Bug.
Yeah, Tony was the third cannoli in The Godfather.
Oh, forget about it.
Nice.
Everybody's being
Yeah,
nice.
so
in the chat. Tell me, is that what you're telling me? There's nobody's got anything spicy?
No, they've been pretty good. They've been
Nice.
pretty good.
Cool.
Whatever. I mean,
I
people
feel
are going to
somehow
doubt your
vindicated.
stories or whatever. I know there's some doubt on that stuff. Okay.
Oh, which one was
People-
it?
There's been what I was just saying, like here and there. There's been someone saying like bullshit, but whatever.
About
that's
my
everyone's
accident or
stories or any of that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like
just
what
your
happened with
regular
your
stuff.
accident?
Oh, with my accident? Well, I got hit by a car. I got hit by a hit and run drunk driver. You know,
And that
I
was just
fucked
earlier
up
this
for like
year.
5 months. It was in late January. I was fucked up for like
Yeah.
5 months, and you know, come around June, I just started to be able to sort of like move around, and now I'm able to get sort of, you know, physical again, thank God. And you know, I didn't go to the hospital right away. I should have. So if anybody ever gets fucking hurt, don't just go walk up and go home first and then to the hospital. Go right to the hospital. I was fortunate that I got there and they were able to sort of stabilize what I was doing. But I think the scariest part was when they told me not to move. You know what I mean? Like don't move a fucking muscle, like nothing, you know? Because I was trying to like scratch myself on my thigh or whatever. And they're like, we told you not to, you know what I mean? Like not a muscle until we give you the scan. So that was the scariest part for me, you know, when I went through that stuff. So, you know, that was like just the craziest, getting all the scans done and then seeing that like some of my organs were fucked up and that I really was dumb and that I have people that actually care about me and that I need to be a little more careful in my life. But I wasn't drunk. So, you know, that's about it. I mean, I got hurt and I didn't do a GoFundMe or anything like that. I just got fucked up. It wasn't a play for fucking, I was on a break from streaming. I hadn't streamed for months when that happened. So there was really no advantage to me like faking an accident. And I'll tell you what, my Hollywood makeup skills would be stellar if that's what it was.
No, I remember seeing that shit back in the day, dude. There's no doubt in my mind 100% that,
you know,
you were fucked up for a while. And we had you, that's when we had you on our show, was like a couple weeks after that happened. And you were still
people gave me a lot of shit and I'm
on
like,
the face. And
I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why anybody would. And then I saw Chad, like, just as I'm finishing that sentence, I don't know why anybody would fake. And then you see like people like, you know, Chad do weird shit and stuff like that. And talking about the way these ex-Scientologists act, they make Chad look like a Girl Scout, you know, like with the shit that he did to Steel Toe. And, you know, people just want to make other people like uncomfortable. You just have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
right. Maybe back to the partying shit a little bit. I was kind of curious because, like, I think of the weird shit that's going on in Hollywood, and I'm always like, eyes wide shut. Kubrick, was he trying to actually expose Hollywood for what it is? I don't know. Like, did you go to eyes wide shut parties with Tom Cruise or?
Well, there
like,
were several parties.
What's your
like
thoughts
that.
on that kind of shit? Yeah, go for it.
There were several type of orgies. That one is a very specific that's a very specific group, the people who did those parties. That is not, you know what, let me just I have a the guy's name who ran that.
Yeah, and I always assume there's plenty of that shit going on because I mean, for one thing, like porn comes from LA, like all the bad shit comes from LA. There, you know, there's human trafficking, you know, there's sex trafficking, you know, there's all kinds of fucking crazy shit happening in that valley. And I would just assume, like, just because you've made it and you became an actor, actress, whatever, you're still probably part of all that kind of weird shit. I mean, the porn stars probably mixed with the fucking actors and actresses, right? Like they're probably all one big weird shit.
Oh yeah, I mean it's anything that goes on is attached to really the nightlife in LA and Hollywood and those surrounding areas, and the private parties that go on, whether it's on the beach or in the hills or in the mountains in Malibu. You've got all these crazy private parties going on. I remember just one specific weird party I went to. They had one person that they were whipping in one part of this private party, but the music was really loud. I remember it being really loud, but they were whipping this motherfucker so hard that you could hear it over the music. I was like, God damn, motherfucker. That was like my first, that was like the first party I went to that had, some kind of like just open sex acts going on everywhere. And they call
art installation. It's a living art installation, guys.
It sure was. I'll tell you what, that dude was taking it. But that's
that's
really
mod art. Is that what you're saying?
Just a lot of, sex parties of people of different ilk and proclivities. That the party that they call it an unfettered party, which means like anything goes kind of party. So that was like, one of the code words for those type of parties, those house parties. This was, anything goes, right? Wife swapping, open sex, whatever it was. I never got into that. If a dude fucking if I got one drop of jizz on me, everybody got to die in the room. Nobody's leaving. I'll tell you that right the fuck now. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
I can't have that story getting out. I got enough problems. Jizz on my leg.
Well, you had the jizz towel. Tell us about the jizz towel.
Right, we got a cum towel collection.
Yeah. What's that all about? Bust that one up.
What's that?
Do you clean them? Please tell me you clean them.
Oh, we don't have that service, but we're thinking of incorporating it into it because you should get like maybe a clean, sterile bunch like at hotels. You know what I mean? You should just you throw the other ones in a bag. You're gonna get a fresh one. When you throw out the bag, you got that fresh one right there. You leave your bag. We take them. Yeah, we'll clean them for sure. We'll dry clean them.
All right, hold on. You're thinking about marketing a cum towel.
Well, no, we already did this whole joke with the SPTV people. Like weeks ago, we came up with this joke and we started to put people's faces on these things and we were showing them with not Nora. It looked like Nora, but it's not Nora, right? So we put up not Nora on something we call the cum towel. They lost their shit because the Scientologists have these weird triggers about sex shit in their brain because they're shamed as kids for their thoughts. And through your adulthood. It's not just what you do, it's what you think about doing. That's the scariest part about that mind control shit. They make you feel
You're sitting
guilty.
on a gold mine, dude. I think you're sitting on a gold mine.
There's a lot going on.
I think you should make cum towels. I think there's a market for that. And I think you should put crude pictures of people's faces that you hate on them. Have an array, a choice of people. You can have like Obama cum towels.
You could do that if you modify the image, obviously, to a certain degree.
Yeah. Make a crude representation of that person.
That is exactly kind of what I do. It's not enough of a percentage that someone could say, hey, that's that person. But sometimes I do take bits and pieces and I lay them in, but it's not the person. You know what I mean?
I think you should
do
that.
That person.
I'd buy one. I'm a girl, and I would buy one. I would buy one for Granny. They'd have to be like soft, like you, dude. Get with me, dude.
Soft and absorbent.
I like graphics and shit. We'll do this. We're gonna make this happen
for sure. But I mean, a lot of the people, that's why they get so triggered over stuff like this, is because they feel like, first of all, all these ex-Scientologists still give a shit about like their rank. Okay, they still talk about their rank. They still use the lingo. They were an OT this or that, or they were this level auditor or that level auditor. Shut the fuck up. Why are you talking like that if you're done with it? Like, why are you speaking like this? That's ridiculous. Like, stop it.
Because they're still partially brainwashed.
Absolutely.
You would assume.
Look,
that's hard. It's hard to get broken to brainwashing, man. I was indoctrinated. I was a fundamentalist Baptist in the South.
Yeah, so but did you grew up with a family though, right? In like a house?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes.
You didn't grow up in like a dorm with 30 people? I'm just curious about some of the differences. Just some of the differences. But you had to do stuff in the name of the church, correct?
I had to go to church every Thursday, mandatory church every Thursday, youth group every Wednesday, church every Sunday, and I had Bible class literally every single day.
Who was the leader, so to speak?
The leader.
Well, I mean, not a name specifically, but who was the sort of cult leader? They all kind of have like this,
Pastor Bloom. Pastor Bloom.
Oh, he sounds.
It doesn't compare. It really doesn't compare. But like I'm saying, there is still a level of being brainwashed, and it is. If it's hard for me to let go after all these years of deprogramming myself from what I went through, it's safe to assume that it would be even harder for these people to break like ingrained habits.
So are any of those influences still around you or your family?
No.
Okay, that's good. So there's really, that's good that you don't have a conflict. That's what I'm saying. Like you can just not be anywhere near it, which is great.
Not that part of it. My brother's a pastor, but he's not like fundamentalist or anything.
Right. But see, there's always like a leader and it's driven by like shame and stuff, right? Like based upon this doctrine, right? That's so absolute with no gray area.
Right.
And cults kind of like report on each other a lot, right? Tattletales and stuff. Yeah. Same in Scientology. There are a lot of similarities in a lot of cults. They really are. And
that would explain
so when they bring you
why,
into
Aaron
Scientology, they like
that.
separate your kids from the family to like kind of control you.
I don't know. I heard you both at the same time. What? Go
ahead.
Both of you came over at the same time.
I don't remember what I said.
Okay, I think you were asking a question about family stuff, and you guys were both asking.
Yeah, do they separate like Do they separate like the children from the family to like indoctrinate them separately, or how does that work?
Yes,
that's exactly what they do. They put them in like their own housing and shit, and take them away from the kids.
Yes, Scientology schooling. And
so it's like boarding school for Scientologists kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, Nora tells a story herself about being in a dorm room, and look, I joke about some of this stuff, but it's only because they're fucking with me and I'm fucking with them back. Okay, what I'm about to talk about is something that I've joked about, but it is horrible. But that's why I do that on my show. It's a fucking show. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but I mean, I am going to clap back. But Nora grew up in a dorm room with 30 bunk beds, and they basically had to, she said that there were burgers and fries out on some trays, and they had to run to get their food. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of shit that they had to deal with. It's a horrible place.
When did she get out? When did she get out?
I think she's been out for about 13 years. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not certain. I think she's one of the ones that have been out longer in the group. But then, people pop up. It's like, well, why aren't you helping them? Who was it, Pito?
Bad Aussie says Scientology kids are sent to a ranch in Hammett, so the same place that prison area is.
That is the I forget, RPF they called it. I don't remember what the initials, but it's like some work farm place up in Hammett. They called it Gold Base.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird they got all these compounds. It reminds me of like in Oregon they have the Rajneeshis. I'm sure you guys all remember that shit from back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
they were out there in like Eastern Oregon, and dude, they pretty much like ran an entire town
bought a
and
town,
a compound.
They bought the
Yeah,
town.
it was weird. And then they started killing the politicians and stuff, like trying to poison them and like murder them. They got out there. But yeah, this all like harkens that back. Eventually, they did bust those people, which is great. Hopefully, maybe someday that'll happen again.
Right.
To Scientology
but, you know, they're
guys.
trying to take down the YouTube channels because they don't like what I say. You know, they call it, they say that I'm harassing them and this and that. Come on, man. You know,
You're a suppressive person.
Well, unfortunately, YouTube likes to suppress, so they love playing along, which is the unfortunate part of all of this.
I mean,
they
look,
would rather.
I don't break the rules.
They're not going to fight back for us.
Yeah. And I get a human review on all my videos. That's why I pull them back into membership. You know, after I'm done the live stream, I'll pull it back. I'll get a human review. Then I'll put it back out again. They all have human reviews. I mean, they're reporting videos literally that are already green $signed, you know, which means full monetization. It's not yellow. Some of mine are yellow, but those are human review too. So they find no violations, no strike. I say, let a human look at this. If you do that and there's a strikeable offense, they're going to put the strike on you when they do a human review.
Right. Yeah, I guess I got some weird questions for you, and I didn't know, like, with Scientology. Yeah, so you were talking about like the lying and stuff, thought crimes, pretty much, right? Like, you're supposed to feel guilt for like your own thoughts, and they bring you in the beginning, and then you're like put on a lie detector test, and they do it over and over and over and over and over, and ask you all these different questions and record you while they're doing it, and that's kind of compromise. That's like how they compromise, like these.
Yeah,
Tom
they get all your
Cruises
deepest, darkest, weird sex secrets. They use the auditing sessions as confessionals, so that people will come in there, and you know, there are a lot of these guys that say, you know, that people come into these confessionals and they go and, you know, hurt their kids, right? Like in a sexual nature, right? So they do that, yet these auditors know about it, and they don't report it to the police because Scientology doesn't believe in reporting stuff to the cops.
Oh, so they'll keep any secret then, all secrets.
Well, that's why Danny Masterson got away with everything for decades.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's part of their. They
I
deal
guess
with outside stuff, and they try to quiet everybody down. Hey, don't mention it. You're in Scientology now. Remember, we don't go to police, and if you do go to the police, then we're gonna make sure that you suffer. You know.
Right. This is Granny. This is Lesbian's husband.
Nice.
Better, worse half. Lemmy's the better half, of course.
He's got the mute on.
Or excuse me, Lemmy, the better third, the best third is what
Quit trying to
say,
fuck my old lady, Derek.
Oh, I can hear Granny just fine. No, that's good. I'm curious. Now, Scientology seems a little off, but do they have ties into? So this almost seems like satanic. Do you think that there is some like above the people that run Scientology? Do they really believe in that shit, or is there something like way darker going on in the Scientology community by the people that are running it, more or less? Maybe the people down below don't really understand what's going on, but the people at the top of the pyramid might have a whole other thing going on.
Yes. And you know, through some
like
research,
Bohemian Raps,
right? So through different research and looking into court records, archives, things that old school Scientologists that are real whistleblowers have, different files, different things that we have seen have connected certain factions of Scientology to the process church of the final judgment, because I believe it was Robert de Grimston it was a splinter group that went off of Scientology, and the de Grimstons were friends with the Hubbards. And again, you're going back to a part where you're looking at some old school British MI6 kind of shit when you're talking about Robert Maxwell taking courses at Scientology facilities. It's some heavy shit. And
what in the fucking high functioning autism is going on around here?
All these people are also connected to Aleister Crowley. I mean, that's where all the paperwork and all the receipts go. You know, they go. Origins
No,
of,
that's
those groups.
That was like part of the interesting thought.
The
Peter Nygaard and the son of Sam. They all have like ties to Satanism and. Tell me some of that shit you were spitting earlier.
Sake, dude.
You don't like the Satanism talk?
No, I love Satan, dude. I don't like that y'all are blaming Satan in this motherfucker, dude. I get in here and y'all start blaming Satan, dude.
Well, you know, I don't.
I just fucking got here.
Yeah,
I've been here for fucking 10 minutes trying to work my shit out, and now we're blaming Satan, dude.
Well, you know, the thing about Satanism is, you know, I mean, the first credo is "Thy will be done," right? So you do your own thing, right? So everybody does their own thing, tries to make themselves whole and satisfied, and those are really just the you know, to get your carnal desires satisfied in this lifetime. Those are some of the pillars of what Satanism is. And
well, Granny, he don't just like carnal; he likes anal.
Hey, you guys, see what you did there. That was a good one. I like it.
I heard y'all talking about cum rags. That's mine up there. How are you doing tonight, babe?
Nice. There you go. So
it's $1 million idea. I'm telling you.
Sure is. So these you know, these higher level, you know, Scientologists also, when you get into people like Mike Rinder, and you know, he is one of those heads of intelligence that know where all the bodies are buried, right? Yet they're still here today, and they know about all this stuff. They know about all the connections to all the stuff that goes way back, and through some court documents, we've connected certain people to certain charities. Leah Remini has got a charity, an animal charity, on her website that is connected, and Dana put this together on her thing. Go to Rotten Jewels on YouTube. She put together all this stuff with the Process Church of the Final Judgment, connecting it to all the details and all the receipts and records, right? So she's really the specialist in that area. But that's what happened.
You seem very passionate about this, dude.
You know, I just sound like that.
Oh, for real?
No,
you seem very passionate about, like, somewhat obsessed.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to, you know, finding this kind of shit out. You know, when people fuck with me and I find out they're scammers, I mean, it becomes more of a interesting little, you know.
So how long have you been like Scientology in?
Well, you know, I was there briefly in the 90s, less than a year-ish, you know, kind of like it was kind of an on and off thing. So I was never like a really serious Scientologist, but I was involved to a point where, you know, I could at least describe what I saw at that particular facility. I didn't go to all the other fucking Gold Base and down in Florida and all this shit. I just went to one building in Hollywood. They called it the Celebrity Center, you know?
Bro, hey, I flipped off.
Right behind me, bro. Come take a tour if you want, Granny.
No. No. I was trying to tell him, Derek, before you rudely interrupted me on your show, that I flipped off John Travolta to his face a bunch of times. I told him that Grease sucked a lot. And that's actually a true fucking story. There you go, bud. See, nice. I'm doing the Lord's work well.
Granny. Okay.
That is a
I'll
Scientology
allow
story.
you to talk a little bit more, Granny. Why don't you go ahead and tell them about your buddy dying on John Travolta's airport landing strip?
Airstrip? Well, him and 4 other kids did. They all died.
Right.
Died
Tell
as
us about
fuck.
that. Why don't you?
Pieced out.
Yeah, we were having a kegger where John Travolta lived, and he had an airstrip out there, and I left, and 5 of them got in a BMW V12 and topped it out and hit the end of the airstrip, launched into the air and hit a tree, and they all died on impact. It cut the car in half. And they
Were your
all
friends?
did. Oh yeah, one of my really good friends was in the car. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been a long time ago. I mean, like, that's verifiable, but yeah, rest in peace, dude. Yeah. It was pretty fucked up because, like, the chick so the reason that we were there and the reason that I've had interactions with John Travolta and told him he sucked a bunch was because the chick that owns the subdivision that he lives in, my buddy was fucking her. So we would have parties out there because there was like a house by the airstrip or whatever. So that's where we would have our fucking parties, and we would, fuck around on the airstrip a little bit with cars and shit, but they took it a little far. It was pretty fucked up. Yeah, it was gnarly.
Yeah,
he paid for the funerals though. Also, just
yeah,
to be
he
fair.
did pay. He did pay for the funerals, but that's a Scientologist thing to do. I mean, there wasn't
That's
fucking
enough
anything
out
left.
of you, Lemmy.
Well, I just heard yesterday, I've been looking at a lot of I found a bunch of footage, and I've gotten some documents of some old Scientology shit that's pretty crazy.
What, like with the kid fucking, or
no, some of the Sea Org meetings and things like that. You got the Sea Org meetings and just some of the things that the public wouldn't otherwise see or know about. That's how nerdy I am about it, man. I just like to know everything about it, and if someone is scamming old people, I have a problem with it.
No, that's awesome, man. I like how you spend your time. Like Granny, I mean, he's got a lot of interest. He nerds out on stuff. He's very into things like League of Legends, for example. Why don't you tell him the deep dives you've gone into on League of Legends? I mean, you really spend a lot of time doing that. Tell them all about it. It's very interesting. You're
so
saving the
fucking
world
glad
one
you're
League of
crippled,
Legends.
dude. I'm so glad you're a fucking cripple. Why we got to bring that shit up, dude? Yeah, I play fucking
I
video
think
games,
you're going to
dude.
save the world doing that.
At least I can
doing
play video
great
games.
things.
I don't have crinkled ass fucking hands. I can play fucking video games, dude.
Yeah, he can also use the moves that he learns from all the anime that he watches to save the world as well.
All right, now y'all are just gonna fucking bury me in front of this nice fucking gentleman, dude. Kind of looks like Fred Durst a little bit. Now we're doing that. Fuck y'all.
I did it all for.
Well, I'm gay and I really like anuses. Listen.
That's pretty
look,
funny.
That's out of context and extremely edited.
That's a
dude.
big misunderstanding right there.
Yeah, it really is, dude.
That's a heap of misunderstanding.
It really is, bro. Like, and it's fucking edited all to hell. Like, I'm telling you right now, I didn't really say it like that.
Yeah, he said it way gayer, but we tried to make it less gay as we could, but it didn't really work out.
The edits tried hard to punch that.
We tried to fix it.
Have you met Leah Remini?
I met her years and years ago. Very briefly.
What was that like?
It was kind of in passing in the Celebrity Center. I didn't really talk with her or anything. She wasn't in the at the time or any of that stuff. The purification, which is that sauna thing that they do to clean out your Satan.
Yeah, but you probably don't, to become a Satanist later, right? You got to clean out Satan in the beginning to get back to that. Is that what they call about, like circling back? Is that what they
clean out your fucking Satan, Derek?
Yep. It's a Satan, Derek.
It's not
You're
Satan.
Your alien soul.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fuck's sake.
Polluting
uncultured piece of shit.
Your Xenu vibe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, was South Park pretty accurate on their description of Scientology?
South Park is incredibly accurate.
Where they like Xenu went into a volcano and exploded.
Yeah.
And then like all the
Hilarious, right?
pieces of Xenu. Yeah, that's for real, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I feel like bad about humanity.
That's what they
now.
actually believe. But here's the thing is that by the time they tell you that, you've already been in for years. You're totally indoctrinated. And some people got to that point where they told them about Xenu and they were like, fuck you. And that's when people leave and they get upset, you know, because all this time and you're going to tell me about Xenu. But now everybody knows about Xenu. In the 90s, people didn't know about Xenu as much.
For real? So like you're just a Scientologist and then wham, they lay this fucking Xenu burger right over the grave.
If you pay for it, if you pay enough money.
Yep. If you pay what back then it was like $150,000, $200,000 to get to that point.
Then you get the secrets of Xenu after a fucking 150 clip, dude.
Yeah, there are levels to Scientology, Granny. Like
It's
there's a
the bridge
ladder.
to freedom. If you could find that
I mean,
online,
honestly, would you really ask for your money back after you found out about?
Yeah,
Xenu?
bro,
I mean,
yes.
come on,
I would've
dude, that's a
kept the
fucking great
receipts.
story. That's worth.
I think some
150.
people have sued. Yeah. You know, I know some people who've actually sued Scientology and won to get their money back because someone I know spent like $90,000.
And then they got the Xenu laid on the grape. And
I don't think they
like,
even
give
made
you
it to the Xenu point before they wanted their money back, to be honest. Well, now that I think about it, he wanted out before Xenu, bro. He wanted out like he was like half hour into a 2-hour movie, essentially. And he's like, fuck it, I'm done.
Oh, fuck,
He's going back, get his refund and his ticket from the fucking front. I don't like the movie. Give me my money back. Would you like to see another film? No, I don't want to see another film. Thank you.
It's like Laspericon. They have a mothership that's up above the earth and is floating around up there. And I don't know if you've heard it's similar shit.
I think I respect Mormons more than I do Scientologists.
They've been around for a lot longer.
It's just another cult, you know.
But they're nice. You know what I mean? They're a pleasant people.
Well, because they want to sell you a blender.
Also, there are subsects of every group that are not so nice.
Yeah, that's true. You got your good
militant
eggs and your bad
Mormons.
eggs.
Yeah, there are militant Mormons who live on compounds of hundreds of people, of inbreeding galore and sharing wives and killing wives so they can get their wives. And
Lots of pedophilia. Yeah. Marrying underage women and all that shit.
Dude, I used to have these.
And then they have control like the local governance and like the sheriffs and like crazy shit.
I used to have
They're all
these
like
Mormon
mobs
missionaries
and
what would
mafias
come
and
by, dude, and I would get really drunk and smoke weed in front of them. And they would sit there like the whole time, dude. As I'll have fucking like 10 beers, dude, and just get fucked up. And I would always try to pass them the bowl. They never hit it though.
Nose beers?
No, I didn't do any nose beers in front of them. I think that would have been crossing the line a little bit. I would
have like a fucking bullet when they come up the edge of the door. Hey, what's up? Yeah, John Jacob Jingleheimer, whatever. Fuck it.
The funniest part, though, dude, is that they would come by every week, sit there while I got shit hammered, and then when they were done with their mission in that area, they sent like these two like super fucking like innocent girls, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, no way, I can't, I'm not doing this. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Did you do some soaking?
Could you drive us to a different state?
Yeah, no.
No, so I'm good.
Yeah, because I lived across the way across the breezeway from my mom at the time. My mom invited them in because she was like, well, you always talk to the Mormons. And I was like, yeah. And I walk in, I'm like, no, give me a beer and y'all get the fuck out of here. Don't come back.
No,
It was too much. Because I'm a good person when it really comes down to it. You know what I mean?
Nachos.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hell yeah. Yeah. You took some trips to the Playboy Mansion. You were telling me about that.
You know what? Let me give me just 2 seconds to go turn down the air. It's hot as fucking here right now. Let me turn
Yeah,
my
brother, of course.
I heard the Playboy Mansion was a shithole, dude.
Yeah, well, it probably is now, right? Because Hef ain't there, so it's probably really run down, huh?
I heard they never took his body out, dude. He kind of just dried up like an old lizard in there.
I wonder what's going on there now. Do they got a bunch of just whores standing around going, "Where's Hef? What do we do? Who do
I'm
we do?"
pretty. Somebody bought it there.
Yeah, well, would you kick out Playboy Playmates if you moved
yeah.
into their house? Wouldn't you be like, no,
Hell
no,
yeah,
you
dude.
guys can stay. No, don't leave.
No.
Don't leave.
I'd run them
You're
bitches out
invited
with a
still.
broom, dude. Catch me chasing out some hookers with a fucking broom.
That's the correct answer.
Derek, it's me
let me
that
hear
he would have to check my closets for Playboy bunnies and be like, I knew you were hiding another one.
Go get.
Yeah, see, like all women think they're not lesbians until they meet a 10 and they want to fucking go down on that box and fucking shit happens, right?
Yeah, what happened to everybody else tonight, man? I just woke up and y'all were just sitting here being crippled.
Well, okay, so you're late, but they left early. So which one's worse now? Again, explain that to me.
Well, I told you I wasn't coming
The
on,
black
but
one.
since thank you, Miss Producer. I told you I wasn't
Granny,
coming on.
I guess Granny's the black one. Look behind him. You can tell.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
not.
you do blackface and whatnot, so I guess you are the black one after all.
I'm not the fucking. I'm a white man, dude.
Not true. Not true.
Have you gone back to that store that you walked into in blackface the other day and faced that same clerk again?
Yeah.
What did
I'm
he
about
have
to
to
go
say
back.
about it?
I'm going to go back there before 11. Well,
What did he have to say about that experience?
He said that your skin looks very nice.
Oh, he watches Zoe? Oh, that's cool. I always wonder what people think of my skin. That's great.
No.
Thank you.
And he wasn't talking about your fucking crippled skin. Okay.
Oh, well, I assumed he was because I look at your greasy ass fucking red face and I assume he would never say that about you.
Wait, hold on. Here's a good question. And do cripples get goosebumps still?
Yeah, I got him on my neck. Can you see? The hair's standing up too.
You still have a central nervous system, you asshole.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I thought everything was just kind of dead, or like the whole thing. You know what?
I've explained this to you a few times. I know it all goes right over your head. And Bill Cosby's apparently. He's not helping you out a bit. Yeah, right over that fucking thing. Right over that. Oh, speaking of Bill Cosby, yeah, I guess we can get into that Playboy Mansion
in the
story.
pudding and take the pudding and put the pills in the pudding.
Hell yeah. We see, yeah, you're old like me, huh? Mr. Nick. Mr.
That's
Gurr.
right. Mr. Gurr, please.
Are you the Nicholas Gurr?
Yes. A lot of people get me confused with my grandfather, but he is actually Bavarian. So he's a totally different animal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I do know what you mean.
Alex Watts. I bet JFK was just about to say the word Scientology before he caught that bullet.
I wouldn't be surprised. They are their own mafia. You know what I mean? And they work very much like a mafia. You know, cults work like mafias. You've got your goons. You've got your consigliaries. You got all that stuff.
And tell me to shut the fuck up if
Yeah.
y'all have already gone over Operation Snow White, but that was the biggest infiltration of a government by a private entity in the history of the world.
Yeah, my friend Mike McLowry, who I speak with. I speak with his wife regularly. We sort of communicate through there. We communicate with him and his wife Virginia. He actually did Operation Snow White, so I know one of the guys that went in to do Operation Snow White. He was there.
And you said his name was Mike Lowry?
Mike McLowry.
Mike Lowry. I'm Mike Lowry.
If Aussie,
you guys
if
have to know
Aussie
that.
is if Aussie is still in the chat, Aussie, will you please do me a favor and drop the McLowry's link in the chat for everybody to see? There he is.
Does Donnie have a remote control for fuck's sake? Oh, I guess that's
for my air conditioner.
That was
I could do it on my
fucking
phone.
terrible, Derek.
Dude, I went full on Scottish in the middle of
Yeah,
it. I'm
like
sorry,
what
I failed.
fuck?
I realized that. I could hear myself sucking it up. I am aware.
See what central nervous system, my ass.
And Dana's link. Can people drop the links in your chat? Are they able to do that?
Yeah. Spam us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like 2 hours and 20 minutes in, so I like whatever.
Yeah, put some of those
the
in there.
Fuck out of us, dude. Do it.
And the Clowrys are very good people, and they are like, in my opinion, they are like the true whistleblowers. They have been on the run.
From Scientology, like the Scientology mafia.
Yes, and these ex-Scientologists don't help them. They're 80 years old.
Well, they're not running very fucking fast then.
It's very, it's very fucked up.
Here, I'll do my. Here, we'll do a perfect Aussie accent. That Aussie. You want a blowjob too?
Oh my god!
Also, for fuck's sakes.
So
bleach his ears.
God damn it!
Put another shrimp on the bottom.
Bad Aussie. One of the best.
No, I'm the bad Aussie. Actually, if anyone's the bad Aussie, it's me. I'm sorry.
Give him a sub too. He's a good kid. That kid.
The bad Aussie.
Check
Bad
out.
Aussie. Yeah, he does a lot of great artwork and some videos, and that's Dana's for the research that you guys want to see. Some of the hardcore Scientology and Satanism stuff. That is the place to go. That's our girl Dana.
I don't get what your big deal with Satan is, though, dude.
I don't. Look, I just say to each their own, man. I don't. It just is part of it. It's I'm not saying anything bad about it because I don't understand it. It's not mine to judge, right? And I'm certainly not doing that. I think everybody should do their own thing as long as it doesn't hurt other people or animals or old people.
Like the son of Sam, who did hurt other people. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that? Like
and animals. So
right.
my buddy Mike Codella.
Let me just preface it because we were talking about like unsolved mysteries earlier today, and like the fact that I remember back in the 1990s I was watching Unsolved Mysteries, and the whole show, it was like a half-hour show just about Son of Sam and explaining like all his ties to like this Satan worshiping cult that we're all seeing doing things in and around like New York area and other places, and it was all tied to Son of Sam, and they were talking like they probably had shit to do with what had happened in New York and maybe other stuff happening around the United States as far as like missing people and murders and but there was
Church of the Final Judgment.
Right.
Now, listen, they've never once tied a satanic cult to any murder, not one in the history. Okay.
Actually, my friend Mike Codella is a retired NYPD sergeant, and I've interviewed him, and he did a lot of the investigating of some of the stuff during the Son of Sam case.
Yeah,
and he interviewed DeGrimston, who was friends with Hubbard. He interviewed Berkowitz. He interviewed everybody, and there was a biker named Tiny. You could look him up. He's someone he's got people talking about sacrificial rituals in New York. I mean, during this time. So the reason David Berkowitz doesn't talk about it, and he'll never admit that it's more than just one person, is because he's terrified. So
but have they? But that my point is, have they ever tied any murder to a satanic organization?
Absolutely. I mean,
give me one case.
The Son of Sam case, man. I mean,
that he was an admitted Satanist, but he wasn't. Right. He never tied himself to an organization.
Well, he never will.
All right.
I mean, it's
Richard Ramirez.
He was sort of scared into it. I don't know much about Richard Ramirez. I know more about the Son of Sam case. I just know that he is afraid for his family, and he will take some of those secrets to his grave with him. He's not going to expose any of it. And, you know, you can go look up Mike Codella. He's a former NYPD sergeant who worked on this stuff and took a lot of the statements from Tiny, who was the biker who guarded the door of the sacrifice rituals, right? He was like one of the security guys. So a lot of his statements and some other people tied it all together for Mike. And he, you know, he's writing about it, and he talks about it a lot. I did an interview on my channel with him last year. So this was after he was convicted, though. You know, a lot of this information came out after he was convicted.
Wasn't Charles Manson into Satan?
No.
Charles Manson also took some Scientology training when he was first in Lake County Jail.
Yeah, that's not really that's not shocking.
Yeah, so he was
exactly.
He was indoctrinated into it, and you know, this is part of a there are a lot of government ties to a lot of this. A lot of intelligence organizations tied to some of these things, you know.
C-Note middle manager. Lemmy doesn't appreciate her longtime fans. Oh, that's mean.
Shots fired. What the hell?
What
the hell?
I think I'm still right here. There isn't a single crime tied to a satanic organization. Now, people have been quote unquote influenced by Satan, but there isn't a single crime. Now, I'm not saying that they haven't happened, but nobody's ever tied a satanic organization to any murder ever. So that was the point I was trying to make.
Okay. And what I was saying about that point is Mike seems to have it with that guy Tiny, but this was after his conviction. So these were not part of the court record. So when you're looking at something on the record, perhaps that's true, but I believe there are a lot of satanic killings that happen, and you can go back to, you know, Ted Gunderson. Look up an FBI agent. He was an LA agent by the name of Ted Gunderson, who was actually killed because of a lot of his stories about Satanism. I have a lot of that stuff on my channel about Ted Gunderson talking about satanic ritual murders, satanic kidnappings happening in Los Angeles, California. So there are a lot of ties to it, but perhaps maybe not, I don't know, in certain publications or something like that. But there is evidence.
I mean, I was just looking at
the places that I know of. Those are two places that I know of.
I've seen some of those Gunderson interviews, and that was some creepy shit, man.
Yeah,
no, this is a government fucking website that says virtual library abstracts. Yeah. It says no murders tied to any satanic organization.
Ted Gunderson was the former head of the LA Bureau of the FBI.
Oh, well, I don't trust the government anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, me neither. So that's why I would say that does make sense, that a lot of these things may have been hidden in certain areas. But, you know, a lot of stuff happened with Epstein that was hidden, that nobody knew about until much later, right? So these government entities and these money and these financial entities do a lot of this, you know, a lot of the payoffs, because they're the customers, right? They're the customers of the Satanists. They're the customers of the traffickers. So that's why they want to keep the whole thing going. You know, they need their kiddies and cocaine.
Yeah, I think Gunderson also was the one that came out and was saying all the problems that were with the Oklahoma City bombing too. Like he was breaking that down and like exposing that shit, if I remember correctly.
And he's just one of the very few people. I can't think of another government official that has come out like Ted Gunderson has about Satanism. He's the only one that I can think of, and he was silenced in a very final way.
They killed him?
Yes.
Dead?
Yes.
Didn't he die right at 9/11, like around the same time? Like that the story just disappeared because he was, I believe it was something like that. Like he was killed like right at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of lore to Ted, and you know, a lot of those lectures that he put out are really very interesting. You know.
All right, I got to go to the store and I got to poop, dude. It was nice meeting you.
Hey, nice meeting you, Brent. We'll talk soon.
And yeah. We can talk more about why Satan isn't a bad guy.
You got to. Have you met Hackride?
No.
Oh boy, we got to get you on with Hackride. Hackride the demon.
No. We're scheduled to have him on here. Not too soon, like in the next couple weeks. He's just been super busy, and he's got shit going on. He's a busy guy, so hopefully we'll get him on here soon. He did say he will come on. He said just to hit me back up here in a week.
He's a cool guy.
Where's
yeah. No, I like his gimmick, dude. That's fucking. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I like the way that he does the show and all that.
What does he do?
He's pretty much like Satan as the character Satan.
He comes out as the character Satan, dude. It's hilarious. And he has the voice and he talks like this, you know, and he does the whole demon voice with the mask. It's really cool. It's a great character, you know.
And he just interviewed Bob Levy's wife, Gina Levy. And it was
that's
fucking
right.
It's great shit, dude.
Gina's such a sweet person, man. She just gives off sweet vibes, like.
I'll wear my Satan as my homeboy t-shirt, dude.
Oh, there you go. You know, that is something I'm sure he will appreciate and give you some extra tokens for some hellacious fun.
All right, well, y'all have a good night. Derek, go fuck yourself. Nice meeting you, Tony. Fuck you. Quit trying to fuck my old lady, piece of shit. Well, I'm gay and I really like anuses.
Wow, that's a weird thing to say on your way out. Awkward. He always makes it awkward here, though, on the VYB.
Yeah.
Weird.
And gay.
We like Lemmy. She's a keeper, but that grainy guy, whew, boy.
It could be a tough room.
We got issues. I've kept you for 2.5 hours, dude. I can't thank you enough. I think we should wrap it up myself. Unless there's anything else you wanted to add or let us know about what's going on in the world. I think we covered a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, just go subscribe to Zero Dark Tony and to Ripcast because I do a show with Corndiff, right? So Corndiff and I do a bit of a show where we sort of break down some of the crazy, wild doings on the interwebs, and we go hunt for it so you don't have to. Everything from ladyboys to mystery bag to
the blacks,
Casey Armstrong, all kinds of fun stuff that we cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
So come join us over on Ripcast, and if you sub to my channel or Corndiff's channel, you'll know where Ripcast is coming. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like the Ripcast. That's fun. You and Corn look like you guys are enjoying yourselves over there. I
well,
enjoy
you know,
it
we
myself.
have our 50th show coming up.
Nice, man.
Our 50th freaking episode. That's going to be good. You guys all got to jump on and say something that day.
Hell yeah. We'd be glad to. And bring some Lemmy, are you doing anything in the morning?
Yep. 8:30. Tomorrow's it's Thursday. So tomorrow 8:30 on Twitch, Eastern Time, AM. Best morning show on Twitch ever.
That's right. Hell yeah, it is. I don't get up that early, so I miss most of it most of the time. That's because I'm a big lazy bones.
I usually go late. I'll go overtime.
Oh, now you're calling me out?
I went over overtime.
Is that what just happened here? Did you just call me out? I usually go late enough for me to be there. Is that what you're saying? You're expecting me to be there?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want dark chocolate Rolos and a Coca-Cola, please. Sorry, I had to give
Rolo to your pal. It's chocolate covered caramel.
You're
old. Absolutely.
I know the Rolo fucking. I used to love those things. Yeah. The Rolo.
Yeah. They make dark chocolate ones and they're so fucking good, dude.
Really? See, we never had dark chocolate ones. That's a very elegant thing.
They're so good. They're superior in
That's
every
a
way.
woman thing. Have you ever noticed
might
women
be.
like dark chocolate? Guys do not
Yeah,
like
I
dark
actually
chocolate.
have
That's
thin
not.
right next to me. I got thin Reese's peanut butter cups just always by my side here.
Like them
Nice.
dark chocolate rolls.
These are the thin ones. You can stack them up. But thank you very much for having me on. And
Yeah, brother. Appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure we'll be in touch on the interwebs, as they say.
see you, everybody. Have a great night.
Lemmy, what time is your show in the morning? I forgot.
8:30 a.m.
I had to fight my whole life. I could beat you up even if you had 1,000 knives. Even if you had infinity knives, I would punch you up into the air like a kite. I bet you sleep with the night light, cause you're scared of the dark, cause you stink like a fart. Well, I like your fart on fire with my rounds. You think I won't? I do it all the time. I bet I got more money than Jay-Z. Compared to me, Jay-Z is lazy. Plus Beyonce thinks that I'm cute. It's okay, Beyonce, I think you're cute too. I made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world. I might look small, but I'm not. I don't care if you're big, I'll fight you. Well, I do know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls. Cause I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls.